Welcome to Tuesday, ladies and gents. We have actually two shows for you today. We were kind of screwing up a little bit last week, but we actually have two shows for you today. Got DCU Daily, Tier List Tuesday. But before, obviously, we get into Tier List Tuesday, we have some news for you and DC-related things and quick hits. Obviously, the first major thing that we have to get into today is usually box office report, because we just have to keep talking Spider-Man because that gets our views, and they just keep doing the thing, and we got to keep talking about it, and blah blah blah. Oh my god. But that's not the only thing. We do have some tracking in regards to the underdog hit Coyote versus Acme. We got some pre-sale stuff for Dune Part 3. And then we head into MCU Daily, talking majorly about Endgame Encore, the re-release of Endgame that has an extra 2 minutes that apparently is like crucial for the movie, when really it's probably going to be nothing. But we're going to be talking about that. We're going to talk a little bit about X-Men, then a tiny bit of movie talk madness. Apparently we're getting a Bam Bam movie for whatever the fucking reason with Ryan Gosling. You won't greenlight a Barbie 2, but you will greenlight that, Warner Brothers. Sure, okay. Then we talk about TV Talk Terror. Apparently Amazon has found their RoboCop. Still deciding on a James Bond, but they have found their RoboCop. So, honestly, I'm more excited for RoboCop than I am for that. So, you know. But we're going to be getting into that, and then a little bit of Business of Hollywood, Caleb's favorite topic on the show. Then, since we have Lizz here, she's going to be talking about the 9 million movies that she saw the past few days, talking about that. Then we get into our quick hits, tons of fun and tons of TV news in regards to that. Then DCU Daily, we have quick hits. We got a little bit of Lanterns. We got a little bit of Batman Part 2. And then we actually have real DC greatness, watching Lanterns. I forgot what that meant. But Nightfall came out today, guys. So we will be talking a little bit about that. I have not seen the film yet, so we're not going to do a formal review just yet. But I will try to watch it as quick as I can and really get into it. But all of that and more, of course, after this wonderful intro to get into the news.
It doesn't seem to matter what I do. I'm always the number 2.
All right, mister, I need to paint my abs on to get nominated. You don't see Robert Downey doing that.
You're kidding.
You're
kidding. I can't open the envelope without the...
Warner Brothers is heading back into the Matrix with a new movie in the works.
Wonder what other surprises are in store.
I want to be Bruce Wayne.
I like that. You're gonna love me.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see
Right there.
You look ridiculous.
Well, not no more, he don't.
What, dude? I can barely understand you. Your accent's insane.
What
Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much. Oh, wow. Wow.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gents. Here I am. I am the host with the most, John. Hello to the new people if you don't know who I am. But let's get into all the wonderful things. Got Lizz here, mainly talking about all the goddamn like
7.
How much time?
7 films.
7 million is more like
7 films. Right? I promise. I'll keep some of them brief.
And then Dan's also there, but
Dan's also here. Yes,
he's off camera right now.
Hi, Monique.
But we have
I'm here.
Oh, he's so handsome.
Yeah,
I'm here.
You're busy doing stuff. We don't want to interrupt you.
Though.
You're locked in.
That's right.
True.
That's right. Keep doing your thing.
I'm just experimenting with that pronunciation of Matt Damon's name.
Matt Damon.
But Caleb here, he's in the middle of finishing up his Dark Knight tribute vid just for you, Dan.
That's so considerate.
Underwood. Yeah.
So kind. So considerate.
But 15,
What's 15
bean ham and
beans?
beans
What is
soup
that?
with your
Are
choice
there?
of toppings.
I mean, I know there are 15 beans out there, but how many? Okay.
I
I feel like I can name beans right now.
I hear when I hear 15 beans, I think of, okay, 1 bean,
Kidney bean,
2
maybe
bean, like literally going through a pile of
Black-eyed
beans and just
Susan.
taking out 15 beans and throwing them into a pot. That's,
Black beans.
jelly beans.
Black beans.
You're not putting jelly beans in there.
It's the only bean that matters. There, I said it.
Baked beans? Are baked beans different from kidney beans? Yes, they must be.
Yeah.
Monique, you're
better,
gonna have to
nuts or
educate us
beans?
on beans, babe.
Oh.
You're gonna have to educate us on beans, Monique. 'Cause-
We got pinto beans. I know that.
Oh yeah, pinto. We didn't have that, so that's 6. We're getting
There's-
there. We got 9 more. We got 9 more. We got.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway,
I
let's
mean,
move
we're
along.
kind of just delaying the inevitable right now because we got to get into the very not great serious news because unfortunately,
I know. Our queen.
one of the greatest fucking people on planet Earth has left this mortal coil, and yeah, this sucks, guys.
Our
Like,
queen.
the devil is really just being in it. Like, he's really like, okay, the last year that ended in 6, that's nothing. I'm gonna do worse. And yeah, you're doing worse, buddy. You're doing worse.
It hurts more than This hurts more than Betty White. I mean,
Yeah. Because at least with, like, I don't know, Betty White was like at the cusp of 100, so that's like makes sense. I feel like 80.
Yeah.
She
she
probably
was
had at
she was
least 5 to
literally
10
2
more
weeks away from
years.
100. Yeah.
Like I feel like had at least 5 to 10 more good years left in her, and yeah,
Yeah.
this is not great.
So
Ugh.
I'll be eating ice cream out of this later, as Dolly would have wanted, I feel. So
Sure, as long as you're doing it from 9 to 5, then you're doing
It's
an
not-
okay job.
it's after 9 now, so
Yeah,
It
but obviously, I mean, I'm sure this is not the first time you guys have heard of it. It's just been, I literally woke up to this news and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
come on. Like,
yeah.
we're really just losing, like, it's not even like a concurrent thing. It's just go from Hayden Panettiere to Dolly Parton. It's all like great people too. It's like, can you just kill an asshole? Like, just kill an asshole. Just like, oh yeah,
Just
we're gonna kill
one. We just need
just
well,
one. Like,
we got Lindsey Graham. We know
Yeah.
Mitch McConnell's been dead for 3 months. We already know that, but
yeah. But hey, I mean, if it's any concept, you know what I think it is? I think it's like an even balance of the universe because I see a lot of stuff on my feed of like inmates killing pedophiles. So I think like once a pedophile dies, all right, we got to even out the universe. We got to kill a good person now that we killed a bad person to, keep the force balanced or something. So that's my train of thought, I guess. But yeah, it's just, ugh, this fucking sucks, dude. Like, I just have no
Yeah,
words.
man.
Like, I just can't, like, we'll get into other people's words about it, but it's just like,
yeah.
this is like
Just,
another Aussie at this point. It's just like cultural icon who
Yeah.
changed the game, great person, just yeah.
I mean, my only thought on it is just the best way that you can celebrate and honor Dolly is to go out there and pay it forward and be a good human being, donate to your local charities, donate to some major causes. As we know, she was a huge philanthropist, really big into literacy, human rights, not just gay, not just trans, all human rights mattered to her. So, and we know as who was it? Was it Monique that put it out? As we know, as Monique stated, she has plenty of music that we have yet to ever actually hear. So that'll be coming down the line. So she will live on for quite some time after this, and will be remembered for decades to come. But it sucks. 80 years old. It's not that old. Not that old at all. Fun fact, I know some people know this, not everybody does, because she wore full bodysuits. She was actually covered in tattoos. But she never wanted to present that to people because she was concerned that it would turn certain audiences away, and she wanted people to focus on her music and her message, and nothing else. So if you ever see, even her hands had tattoos, but she always wore fingerless net gloves over her hands. But people say if you ever met her and you wanted to see her tattoos, she would show you her tattoos, but nobody had any idea. I hope there's like a photo book somewhere, something of the artwork that she did wear. Hopefully that'll come out, but she was
I mean, we all
she
die someday. That's the
well, but
only
as much as my point is, as much as
consequence.
we know about her, she was still a mystery in a lot of ways, and just such a class act. So, yeah, so she will definitely be missed, and I feel the same way about James Hetfield. So yeah, it's it
Favorite
sucks.
song, all of them. I'm gonna go with all of them. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
cheeky with it. Fuck you. I'm
yeah.
gonna I'm gonna say all of them.
And again, there's some we haven't heard yet, so there could be new favorite Dolly songs coming
Yeah,
down the
I mean,
line.
you know what? If the Beatles
We're
can
not
fucking
there.
release a song fucking 60
Yeah,
years after like
yeah,
that ended, then anything's possible.
yeah.
But like everyone's has been saying wonderful words about her, Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin, obviously her co-stars, um talking about her, called her a loyal friend. I never knew anyone like her. Tomlin kept her words brief, sharing an old photo of the pair and writing in the caption "No words" with a broken heart emoji. She also shared additional photos of herself and partner on her Instagram story. Um, then Fonda posted a lengthier tribute on Tuesday afternoon, writing, "I am devastated. I just learned that Dolly has moved on. I know that millions are mourning, and I want to say this more than anyone I have ever known. Dolly will always be with us because she was so present, so powerful, so generous, and playful that she is woven into all of our lives and hearts forever. We have our memories of her, her songs, Dollywood, 9 to 5, the millions of books she got into the hands of children, all the iconic images that bring her to us, and they are all blessings. Let's be grateful for all that she has left us to ease our sadness now. I never knew anyone like her. She was simultaneously a naughty, playful Southern gal from the hollows of Tennessee and a deep, soulful thinker who could see through people right down to their true selves. She was many things: lyricist, songstress, a player of many instruments, writer, prankster, visionary, loyal friend, would never go to bed before she and her friends had laughed so hard they had to cross their legs." Fonda called Parton a voluptuous embodiment of empathy and ended her post with one final note about how the singer would want her memory to be celebrated. "To her gay and trans fans, I want you to know that she loves you. You know that without me telling you. She loved all her fans, and they are legion, and you know she doesn't want y'all to mourn now. Dress up and celebrate her spirit, but first watch the final episode of Grace and Frankie where she's an angel, the head honcho working class angel in heaven." And honestly, I think of, in terms of like, although speaking of all of that, my favorite like Dolly Parton bit cameo, Dan knows what I'm talking about, was when she was in the Orville. That was, oh my god, that was like, I'm like, because they had the whole build up of like, like this alien species listening to Dolly Parton, and then when they have like the holodeck, I forget what it's called in the Orville. I know it's called different because they can't call it a holodeck, but and then they have actually fucking Dolly Parton. I'm like, oh my god, I mean, of course Dolly Parton. She's like, oh yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, that's fine. And but like the fact that they actually got her and this whole thing, it was fucking great. That was awesome. But now I need to watch 9 to 5. I've never seen it. I know,
Oh,
I'm
9 to 5 is
terrible.
incredible.
I need to watch that. I need
Incredible.
to watch The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Like I need to watch all the things now. Um but yeah, it's fuck, bro, this sucks. Linda Ronstadt makes rare public statement to honor Dolly Parton. The world is a poorer place without her. Um, I am deeply saddened by the passing of my friend Dolly Parton. One of the most extraordinary musical experiences of my life was recording with her. The world is a poorer place without her. Obviously, I think we can all agree with that. Um, there's just so many. You got Beyonce, Pedro Pascal, Sabrina Carpenter. Obviously, we're not going to go through every single one, but we do have, a little bit in regards to all of this. Kelly Clarkson, Kiki Palmer, Carol Burnett, Octavia Spencer, Coleman Domingo, and just like the fucking just gigantic amount of uh people, Jamie Lee Curtis, fucking Slash fucking
Yeah.
posted something.
Slash Elton John, Hillary Clinton. The one we're waiting on right now is Miley Cyrus, since she was her godmother. But obviously she is mourning with the rest of the family. So I'm assuming by tomorrow we'll hear something from Miley.
Yeah,
And
Mick
maybe Billy Ray.
Jagger, Paul McCartney, and even then, she doesn't have to post anything if she chooses to
No, of
stay
course.
silent. That's not a bad thing.
I'm just
either.
saying I know people are anticipating, so. But yeah, Goldie Hawn, Carrie Underwood. Oh, Billy Ray did post something. I'm sorry, I see it here.
But yeah, we've got this wonderful tribute. You know, her whole, film and television life and photos, and just good old Captain Kangaroo. But yeah, just a whole bunch of greatness. We'll slowly go through these,
Yeah,
but
even Sharon Osbourne. Yeah, a lot of really nice. I mean, I don't know that I've
good
seen
old
this many.
Rhinestone. Gotta love
I
it.
don't know that I've seen this many tributes in quite some time. So it's just unbelievable.
Babes. God, wild tech. A lot of stuff I've never even heard of. I do know. I am aware of this. I remember somebody posting something about that, like way before, like a couple months back. Of course, she was on Magic School Bus. Unlikely Angel.
Well, she promotes literacy. It's important for kids to get an education.
Very much so. Yeah, no, good
Even
of
Jeff
course.
Bezos, and he doesn't talk about anybody. Goodness
Joyful
sakes.
Noise. God damn, I even remember that.
Our buddy
movie.
Ted Sarandos. He posted.
Gross, but
I know. Ah, boy.
There it is. Beautiful.
Bernie Sanders.
The best one out of all of them. 100%. And then ABC, CBS to air specials commemorating the life of Dolly Parton, of course. So, Dolly and Boris.
Oh, even Johnny Knoxville. How cute.
Just everybody. I feel like if
Chuck
they didn't,
Schumer,
you're probably gonna get
Bernie Sanders. Wow. That's a lot. Kamala Harris. Oof. Yeah. Bummer.
But yeah,
Bummer.
so it's a shame. It sucks. I think we can all mutually agree on that, but try your best to commemorate the legend that she was, and yeah, that's all you can really do. Anyway, so moving on to brighter news, hopefully, depending on who you ask. We have, Spider-Man's doing very well. See, that's great. It's not a great segue, not a great transition, but I'm trying to bring up the room a little bit here, and good movie getting.
Hey, Spider-Man would encourage literacy as well, so.
Yeah.
They would be friends, Spider-Man and Dolly, for sure.
But Spider-Man Brand New Day conquers Avengers Endgame to become the second highest grossing pick at the domestic box office. So now, yesterday Brand New Day made $3.4 million in its fourth Monday. It has crossed domestic box office with $858.4 million as Endgame stayed at 858.3, although that's probably going to go up with the re-release. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's going to count for Endgame, even though it's technically called something different, if I were to take a guess. Yeah, so it's, we'll see how it goes. I mean, Spider-Man's going to keep kicking, keep swinging, I should say, and, keep the money train going. So, yeah, just another big box office record smashed by Spider-Man. But in terms of box office that's not going to be smashed is apparently Coyote versus Acme.
I can't fucking wait for this.
It's tracking a record, tracking to record a surprising 16 to 22 million this coming weekend, which It's not great, but it is the highest grossing domestic opening weekend in catch-up entertainment history, which is a low bar because they are a small indie company.
I
But
cannot wait.
but I can't wait for this. Guys, go see it. Like, don't.
Have you
The
guys seen the
last
trailer?
thing,
The trailer is incredible. I can't.
like the
I'm
last
pumped
thing.
for
Come on,
John
guys.
Cena. I can't wait.
Do you really want David Zaslav to be fucking proven right? Please go. Don't be like, oh, I'm glad this got released. I'll wait till streaming though. No.
Yeah, you need to see it.
No, you
You
don't
need to
get
see
to
it.
fucking be out with the pitchforks and the boards and all that shit and be like, I'll wait till streaming. No. We're not doing
Thank you,
that.
John.
We don't
Facts.
do that
Thank
here.
you.
We don't
Absolutely.
we don't do that here. No.
Absolutely.
I want to see your ass in the fucking theater paying full price to see
Fuck
this
John.
goddamn movie.
Yep.
I'll see it fucking 3 times if I have to, because just out of pure fucking spite for goddamn Warner Brothers. So, you know what? Do it. Good. Even fucking Caleb is seeing it. That just goes to show, like, come on. Do you want to be worse than Caleb? Fucking go see Coyote versus Acme. Come on now. Go fucking see it. Jesus Christ. But yeah, Luis Fernando with his word soup once again. But you know, pre-sales for Dune Part 3 is still killing it. You know, even apparently even the CEO of AMC apologized for the unprecedented demand, 3 times higher than what his app experienced for Brand New Day and the Odyssey's PLF pre-sales launch, according to a statement below, which caused a crash at the AMC app yesterday, for what he apologized and promised a $2 million investment in their system to solve the crashing issue once and for all.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it. We got our Dune tickets weeks ago. Why just this one day did they have a crash for Dune?
Because it was for all of the it was for all the major screens like IMAX and like Dolby and stuff like that, which is, you know, this is a big cinematic event. So
I got my Dolby ticket weeks ago. No, I don't buy it. I'm starting to agree with the conspiracy theorists online that these crashes are self-made. That's no, I don't buy it at all. Absolutely not. No. Nope.
Allegedly, we don't know for sure. It's not for sure just yet. But we did talk about how that was the rumor. So too early to be sure, and so much can change in 4 months, especially considering WB's terrible marketing, which has been worsening since the previous marketing had left. But we could very likely be looking at another potential $100 million opening, despite going head to head with Doomsday. So yeah, good on them. If this is true, if it's not true, then you know what? Good, any publicity is good publicity.
I guess.
So this is the
Whatever.
actual like statement that he released. More word soup, just like, all right, bro, like calm down. Like, we get it. You have a shitty app, it crashes. If it's true, then you know, calm down.
It's not true.
But yeah, like even then, I'm still excited for Dune. I'm still excited for I'm hope it gets all the money. I know it won't win over the nostalgia slop, but you know, a man can dream. We will have cinema. But we move on to MCU Daily. Although speaking of slop, we have to talk about Avengers Endgame Encore. The trailer and new posters were released today, and the exclusive look at Avengers Doomsday confirmed.
They look good.
So the 2019 blockbuster will play in IMAX and Infinity Vision, aka regular, but with a hat on top. The latter is a new certification for premium large format theaters that guarantees moviegoers an exceptional film presentation with big screens, bright images, and outstanding sound. So, pretty much all PLF screens, but now it has a hat on it. You know, like Malibu Stacy. This one has a hat on it.
Gorgeous hat.
But while it's been reported that Avengers Endgame Encore will feature additional scenes, it sounds like a lot like we're just getting a new extended sneak peek at the end of the movie. In a press release sent out by Disney, the studio writes the special encore presentation of the record-breaking film includes an exclusive look at the highly anticipated December 18th release of Marvel Studios' Avengers Doomsday. An additional sneak peek at the film will also be available to audiences who see Avengers Endgame Encore on IMAX and Infinity Vision certified screens. It doesn't really sound like newly shot scenes will be woven into Avengers Endgame's narratives, but does that really matter? No, it doesn't, because these dumbasses will go fucking see anything with Marvel slapped on it. At the very least, we're expecting a new trailer and perhaps some scenes from Avengers Doomsday's opening act. Those will likely focus on what became of Steve Rogers after he traveled back in time for his happy ending with Peggy Carter. For now, we'll have to wait and see. Inevitably, any new content will be leaked online next month, but the best way to watch any Avengers Doomsday footage will surely be on the biggest screen possible. Sure. Not as a blurry cell phone recording. Not like I care enough. But, that's cool. If you want to go watch the trailer, you can. This is what the poster looks like, which, not gonna lie, it looks pretty cool. Like, I like the silver
I like it.
look. Then we got the IMAX one, which is just a scene from the movie with IMAX with the A in there. This is not half bad. I like the gray look, and hey, it's gray just like most Marvel movies. But yeah, we have the 4DX
So tired,
poster.
John. So tired.
Reassemble the team in Infinity Vision. Oh my god. But yeah, we got one of the final scenes of the film. We got this one, which I will say ScreenX looks pretty good too. But yeah, nice, cool, great. Are you gonna see this one 10 times in the theater, Liz, or are you just seeing it like
I will
5
not see it
times?
10 times. I'll happily see it one more time on the big screen before Doomsday if I can get to it. I don't know if it'll fit in my schedule, but we'll certainly make an effort. Yeah. No, I love me some Endgame, so I'm happy to watch it again and again.
But Avengers Endgame Encore has reached the biggest first day pre-sales this century for a re-release a few hours after tickets went on sale, surpassing the Titanic 3D re-release. The overall domestic record is held by the Star Wars A New Hope re-release, which was $138 million back in 1997. Way to go, guys. But yeah, nice. That's it for Encore, but now we're going into X-Men stuff. Marvel Studios expected to seed X-Men characters through multiple MCU projects. Cast contract details revealed. It's like, yeah, I could have fucking told you that. In recent months, we've heard a lot about Marvel Studios going back to the drawing board with its Disney Plus offerings. When these MCU series started, they felt like events, but now even the most diehard fans seem to have no issue skipping them. That's become a problem for Marvel Television, and low viewership is reportedly what doomed the critically acclaimed Wonder Man series. So,
They didn't advertise it worth a damn, to be fair. Let's
also true.
Stop blaming the audience. You're bullshit.
Same thing happened with Ironheart. Puck's Matt Belloni, or Bellany, I'm gonna call him Belloni, I think that's funnier. Matt Belloni, has now weighed in explaining the Marvel TV mandate is not to do these big, expensive, limited series that connect into the larger MCU. They believe, and I think they're right, that diluted the brand. It made Marvel movies feel like homework and not special, and they are focused on Marvel as a theatrical franchise. It doesn't mean there won't be TV shows. There will be, but I think they will be separate, more animation and more separate.
Sorry, we're keeping you up, John.
And more well, we're talking about Marvel, so it's causing me to yawn. And more separate stuff that doesn't connect directly to the MCU. The thinking is that they're likely not going to be as continuous with MCU movies. They're going to be sort of standalones and not necessarily homework for understanding what the movies are. So yeah.
So basically, what they're saying is what I've been saying. I mean, I think this has been true for a while, and Kevin Feige's been hinting at it. The idea that we're gonna get X-Men spread out across other movies, so by the time we get to the X-Men movie, and then even beyond that, it's not like the X-Men are always going to appear as a team. Those characters will be thoroughly integrated into everything else. So like, yeah, you're going to get Storm in your Black Panther movie. Rogue might show up in Shang-Chi, or Ghost Rider. I think they said Ghost Rider might be where Rogue might actually debut in the MCU. Or, you might get Jean Grey in a Spider-Man movie. Oh wait, there you go. So like, just get used to it, because this is the new MCU with the X-Men integrated, and I like it. I would love to see, like, if they can include like some lesser known characters, like Nightcrawler can either show up in an X-Men movie or as a supporting role elsewhere. But like, you can't really make a Nightcrawler movie or like, I don't think you can really even sell a Gambit movie, like, if it's not Channing Tatum necessarily. So
Nightcrawler would be a great straight man for Deadpool, to be fair.
Yeah. Like, you can do like those buddy comedy kind of situations like they did with Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, I think there'll be other crossovers. So this is perfect. Like, you know, Kitty Pryde, or like I think there's so many options. Like Magneto could show up. I'm willing to bet that Magneto will probably show up in a different movie, and
Oh, for sure.
before they introduce him in like an X-Men movie proper. So, but yeah, I mean Matthew Bellany for the Puck, like he knows what he's talking about. He's got really good sources. So, and then you can also bring in lesser known characters. Like Caleb had a Mount Rushmore of characters that most people probably wouldn't know that are mutants from the comics, that they could introduce as supporting characters, maybe even do TV shows or like special presentations on Disney Plus that you wouldn't necessarily, like Fox wouldn't make a movie for them, but like now with the MCU, Marvel Studios have so many different options. Or you can include them in a new Avengers team, but not necessarily in an X-Men movie. Like, so there's gonna be all kinds of crossovers. So yeah, I mean, I think Jean Grey in a Spider-Man movie is only the beginning, and so far they've done a pretty good job with that. So I don't think there's gonna be like X-Men are on this box and the Avengers are in that box. It's one big cinematic universe, which I think for Marvel fans is, again, this is, if you were a comic book fan, then this is what you grew up with, and now you're finally getting it for real. So without the rights, what DC hopefully will do down the road with all their characters, with crossovers and whatnot. So yeah, I like it.
Anyway. Are we done yet? Are we done? Okay, cool. We can move on. So Indy Navarrete was caught in Los Angeles, and when questions about playing Rogue in X-Men, she responded, "It's phenomenal, a huge honor." To say, what the fuck do you think she was gonna say? Oh, I'm not excited at all. I'm just excited for that bag, y'all. Like, really? Like, what the fuck do you think she was gonna say? Like, oh no, I this is gonna suck, bro. I'm gonna make fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars and gonna play this world-renowned fucking character. Yeah, nah, whatever. Like, what are we doing here? Like, get the fuck out of here. But allegedly, after missing out on X-Men, Bill Skarsgård rumored to make MCU return in Ghost Rider, hopefully as the villain, because that would fucking make sense. Like, I'm sorry, like, yeah, sure, Willem Dafoe has played a hero, I'm sure, at one point, but, like, even he himself has said, why would I play a hero when I can have a lot of fun and play a villain? Like, sometimes you have the face for it. Bill Skarsgård, good-looking man, yes, he has the face for a villain. So,
I mean, also, like, you know, Willem Dafoe and, hello, Sanju, Willem Dafoe and Bill Skarsgård both have something in common, which is their last names sound like villains, right? Willem Dafoe literally says he's Willem Dafoe to the hero of a movie.
I thought you were going to say both appeared in Nosferatu. I'm like, yeah, we know, damn.
I mean, that is also true, but, like, you know, Bill Skarsgård, he guards scars, and, like, usually villains are scarred. Dr. Doom, you know, like, it's in their names.
Cool and badass than a villain.
I was trying to be more literal, but there you go, John. Thank you.
It didn't work, then. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, you know, when you're the only cool kid in the room, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. So
well, I'm literally part of a group called the Cool Kids, so like I don't know what you're talking about. But the truth, apparently,
you don't talk about
Ryan Gosling
you call yourself
will lead the cast of a new Ghost Rider film. Sean Levy is directing from a script by Jonathan Tropper. Drew's reunion will finally bring the spirit of vengeance into the MCU, not in a Midnight Suns movie, as many fans expected, but a solo project that's, well, you never know. But a solo project that's set for a 2028 release. No plot details have been revealed, but Gosling lends some serious star power, blah, blah, blah. Who, you know, it has, however, been widely reported that Ironheart star Sacha Baron Cohen will reprise his role as the villainous Mephisto, who transforms Johnny Blaze into the flame-headed vigilante. At D23, the focus was on Jake Schreier's untitled X-Men reboot, and we know Bill Skarsgård was on Kevin Feige's radar to play Professor X. Instead, the role went to Wolfman star Christopher Abbott. Now, insider My Tide Must Shine, grain of salt, reports that Skarsgård remains in talks with Marvel Studios for another role and suggests it could be for Ghost Rider. Blackheart, a demon created by Mephisto, seems like a good fit, but he could just as easily be Danny Ketch for all we know. So, whatever it is, I'm open to it as long as it's more villainous, because that works. But I mean, I think you could definitely.
I think it'd be a good fit. Yeah.
Do that. I don't know, but I mean, I haven't watched Ironheart, so I don't know. I'm not a big Sacha Baron Cohen fan, so
he was in the last episode. He was in it for all of, I want to say at most 10 minutes. He did the character justice. He did a very good job with it. Ironheart was decent. It does connect some things. I don't know how much it's going to be relevant for Doomsday, for example, but it introduced some new characters. It did introduce some new plot lines, plot devices, I should say. So if you have the chance, check it out. But again, I don't know how crucial it will be at the end of the day to Doomsday overall. But if we do see Sacha Baron Cohen again,
Doomsday to watch like a good show, if it's just a good show.
It's all right. I didn't care for the ending. They kind of ended it in the same way that they ended Luke Cage, which I also didn't care for, especially because they didn't go back to that, or at least not yet. So yeah. But again, if it sounds as though his character is going to be coming back, I do recommend watching it just to kind of educate yourself on what's going on there. But
yeah, apparently he did sign a multi-picture deal, so I think he'll be back in something. It just
I mean, who wouldn't? It's Marvel, so
yeah. I mean, he's just busy making a Borat sequel right now, you know. So
yeah,
true story. I'm not lying. That's the thing.
I listen. He's got to pay his alimony somehow. So
for being a piece of shit.
Blame him.
Anyway, but speaking of Ghost Rider and Ryan Gosling, apparently, why?
Yeah, Ryan Gosling's Open Invite label and Warner Brothers are developing a Flintstones live-action reboot about Bam Bam, like a grown-up Bam Bam, which you would imagine Ryan Gosling would play.
Which was a thing. So
there was a show. There was a what was the name? It was a show called The Pebbles and Bam Bam back in the day.
Yeah.
Which was that in the 90s? I forget. Like when did that take place?
Oh no, I feel like it was still in the 70s, 80s possibly.
Oh my god, that's so.
Regardless, listen, I love Ryan because Ryan goes for like deep cuts of shit. You know what I mean? Like Ryan is like a true cinephile, a true fan.
The Pebbles and Bam Bam show lasted a year in the early 70s.
Yeah, I just appreciate that Ryan brings up stuff that nobody ever recalls or gives a shit about, and he's like, hey, why don't we fuck around? And I'm cool with it. It's Ryan, so it's gonna be good.
Yeah, we have some details here.
It's gonna be entertaining as hell.
Because
but right now we hear the duo are looking for a writer. So
his producing partner
Jesse Henderson.
Yeah.
They're looking for a writer right now. So yeah.
I mean, remember at one point that 90s movie was gonna get a sequel, but that never happened. And there's been a number of other things, other times they've tried to get it off the ground. So like the Jetsons thing, finally they got Jim Carrey attached.
Yeah, I have a bunch of canceled Jetsons scripts in my possession. Like there's like 3 or 4 of them. Like, god damn, do you really try that hard to make the Jetsons? All right, okay, sure.
But I mean, I think the story here is that Ryan Gosling is collecting franchises like Thanos was collecting Infinity Stones, because he got Barbie. He got
Barbie ain't a
Star
franchise
Wars,
like that specific movie franchise, but
well, I guess it will be once they make the sequel, and I guarantee you they will.
That's the thing.
I think the Warner Brothers will give in, and considering that Ryan Gosling is working on another thing with them, Flintstones, I'm like, I think they'll figure it out eventually.
Hundreds of canceled scripts. Like, I have a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, Ryan Gosling's done the Barbie thing. I mean, he did Blade Runner. Technically, that's something a franchise that he collected, well before anything else. What else was there? There was, I mean, the Fall Guy never. Let's just forget about that. But then Star Wars.
Don't forget about it. It was a nice showcase to some people, and it was a good time.
No, I'm just saying it's not really a franchise because the movie.
I mean, it technically is.
Like no money.
Like it had a show. I think it had like a couple.
Yeah,
TV
I know,
movies,
but okay. I'll add it to the list, but I don't think it makes the top 6 because you got Barbie, you got Blade Runner, you got Star Wars, Marvel, MCU. He's gonna have back-to-back years with a Star Wars and a Marvel movie. This year he had Project Hail Mary, which there have been conversations about maybe making sequels to that. Nobody's committing to it publicly, but they probably will be working on some ideas at least. And then, now you got the Flintstones. I mean, you guys are right. I think he's genuinely a fan of this stuff. And he just has the clout now. Like, he's found himself in this position in this part of his career.
Oh, everyone loves me. Okay,
able
time to greenlight every project I want to.
No, I mean, of course. Like, why not?
If it pays off, why not?
I mean, Liz, you know this. It's like that's how things work in Hollywood. It's like you said. Like, it's not what you deserve. It's what you negotiate. I mean, Ryan Gosling is in a position to get some really good deals, and every
Yep.
studio wants to work with this guy. So
I mean, it's like
why
the same story with Anne Hathaway, right? She got a lot of stuff greenlit, and she's been how many movies this year? Almost 5 at least right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's capitalizing on it, and good for him.
Yeah, this is perfect. I mean, it's like it happens. We've seen it like Indian
I
already.
mean, I'm not gonna fucking watch it,
so
but
many
like,
offers.
good for him, I guess.
Oh, I'll watch it.
Yeah, but John, you're also like one of a million, well, 8 billion people on this planet, of which many other millions will see it. So I think for Warner Brothers, that's a good business decision. So,
Sure,
but that's what I mean. It's like
you
he's
know,
collecting
until they
franchises.
shit the bed with another decision down the line. So, you know, 'cause
I mean, they already.
that's what Warner Brothers loves to do. They love to shit that bed more than Amber Heard did. So, you know what? They are just gonna keep going until that the sheets run brown, because Warner Brothers incapable of making good decisions. Anyway, apparently fan favorite actress is dead serious about playing the next James Bond villain, and it would break a 27-year trend.
I think that would be cool.
So
Saoirse Ronan, I think,
Saoirse Ronan wants to be the next major Bond villain, and I will say I like that, because
I like it too.
Every other woman would be like, I want to play the Bond girl. She's like, no, fuck you. I want to play the villain. Honestly,
bad bitch. Hell yes.
So
you know what'd be really awesome here? Saoirse Ronan is married to Jack Lowden, and if Jack Lowden ends up being Bond, that would be like an in the family kind of thing, which would especially make that a lot of fun. So
and then now we just then just make Gary Oldman M, and then it'll just be a whole Slow Horses family affair. So yeah, honestly, I that would be cool. That would be cool. I could, like, again, I respect, like, because like Sydney Sweeney's like, I want to be a Bond girl. It's like, sure, honey, get your fucking tits and go to some bargain bin.
I mean, you know, if it was
it's because Angel Studios won't let her get her tits out, so she's gotta, you know, she needs to go to, you know.
Last female Bond villain was Electra King. It's honestly Sophia Marceau. I'm like, you're going way back now. I mean, it's 2026.
They literally said 27
and she was so great too. She was so great. I love her.
It's been such a long time. Like, we haven't seen. I mean, Daniel Craig never had a Bond villain that was a female character, right? It's sort of like in Quantum of Solace. Like, why am I forgetting the name of the actress?
Was it Olga Kurylenko? I don't know.
Olga Kurylenko. Yeah. Olga Kurylenko, she was she was ultimately a Bond girl in the sense that, like, she was adversarial for a little bit, and then, like, you know, they kind of worked together towards the end. But yeah, I don't think. I mean,
the chick in Skyfall was a double agent, but again, that's not what they're going for. It's like the villain. So
right, yeah, like I mean, those. It's just it's also very relevant for, like, again, updating the franchise so that you're not just gonna have every supporting female character in the movie is just a Bond girl or Moneypenny or M, but rather you want to have somebody who can actually, like, you know, fight Bond either physically or psychologically or match wits with 007 kind of thing. I think that would be great. So yeah, I mean, Craig had a lot of female characters who betrayed him, but they weren't really villains of the movie.
Double agents.
So this would be. I mean, again, this is perfect. You got your Bond and you got your Bond villain right there. Like, these are goals. Like, they should manifest this, like Ryan Gosling is manifesting his career right now. So that would be awesome. Can't wait.
Sure.
I mean, also, she's got a cool name, Saoirse. Like, God, Irish names sound cool. So anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can't tell, like, how it's spelled with how it's pronounced, but, you know, that's how it is.
That's still closer than some Irish names, so
that's true.
It's actually could get a lot harder. So
but now we go into TV Talk Terror, and apparently now I'm gonna have to watch this fucking RoboCop reboot, because they cast my boy. They cast my boy in this show that's inevitably gonna be garbage. But, like, I love Dan Stevens too much. Now I'm like, oh, fuck, I gotta fucking watch this crap now.
I think this is the perfect role for him, truly.
But yeah, I think if anybody can live up to Peter Weller as RoboCop, it's probably Dan Stevens. But yeah, this is great. Like, when I saw this, I was like, wow. I was, like, shocked. I'm like, that's an out-of-pocket fucking pick, but, like, I'll take it. Even though the RoboCop franchise hasn't had a good entry since the first one, but we'll see how this goes. We'll see. I mean, it's pretty much a not the best franchise, and the fact that the corporations that they were lampooning in the original film is now the one ordering the actual show for RoboCop. So can't imagine that there's gonna be too much anti-corporate greed and anti-corporation and anti-billionaire like the original film was. But
Well, and hopefully I'll be meeting Peter Weller this year, so yay. So, very timely.
I mean, look, it's
Yeah.
Dan Stevens as RoboCop. What's the name of the character again? They
Alex
tell us a bit
Murphy.
more about Alex Murphy. Like, what's the detail about this? Because again, I think they tell us a little bit about the premise. Because this is gonna obviously it's a TV show.
It's gonna be
based
another
on the
fucking
original
origin
movie.
story, unfortunately.
You got Atomic Monster working on it. So again, I think that's James
that
Wan is
doesn't
involved.
bode well, but
Blumhouse,
it's, showrunner Peter Ocko. I don't really know who that is. Sounds like a Spider-Man
Hey,
villain. But Stevens' casting comes a month after Amazon
DNK
and
Global
Studios officially greenlit the series, which had been in the works for a couple of years. Stevens quickly emerged as the leading candidate for the role, played by Peter Weller in the original Paul Verhoeven series. In the 8-episode RoboCop series, written by Ocko, a giant tech conglomerate
Peter
persuades the
Ocko,
city
yeah.
to place a powerful robot on its police force, a robot implanted with the consciousness of a beloved fallen officer, Alex Murphy Stevens. So that's not RoboCop.
Interesting.
But okay. Peter Ocko has
again,
crafted
it's
a
a
vision that honors the
different
soul of what
iteration,
made the
yeah.
original so enduring, while building something entirely fresh and urgent for today. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, those are the magic, terrible fucking words. We're building something for modern audiences. We are cooked, ladies and gents. We're cooked from the beginning. This show's gonna be ass. It's not gonna be good.
I feel like
Once
that
you
also
say
means there's
we're
going to be a
building it for
lot of
modern
AI.
audiences,
I feel like
all
there's going to
goes
be a
out the
lot
window.
of
Just look at the
AI a part of
premise.
this as well. Yeah.
I mean, look, I think this is this has been the, for better or for worse, they canceled the Stargate iteration because they wanted a more for the here and the time now times version of the show that wasn't what they were working on. And Peter Freelander seems to be the thing. They want to reinvent these old IP franchises for the modern day. I mean, even the movie that they did with Michael Keaton and our boy, I'm gonna forget his name right
Joel
now.
Kinnaman and Samuel L.
Joel
Jackson,
Kinnaman,
who was
hi,
in it for
Bob.
a total of like 3
Anyway.
minutes.
But I felt like that was a bit underrated. It was kind of like that movie could have made better decisions with some of its the points it was trying to make, like the social commentary. They could have gone a little harder with that. But it wasn't the worst movie in the world. It just also really flopped hard. I mean, this clearly feels like, if you go back to the premise, John, if you scroll back up for a second, yeah, it's not like the guy who got disfigured and then just got a robotic body and the head is still human. Clearly this is, Liz, I definitely feel like there's going to be a lot of AI related stuff because they just downloaded the consciousness of some dude Alex Murphy into another robotic person. So, but still, it's Dan Stevens, like at the very least, he's going to ham it up, or I don't know if they're going to play it straight or if it's going to be a little over the top. But I'll be also honest with you, from a Hollywood perspective, there's no way you're ever going to get to see RoboCop made the way it was originally made. It's just that was never going to happen. So if anybody went into this expecting it was going to be anything like it, I think you would always have been disappointed. And that's why I'm looking forward to seeing what it turns out to be, like, for what it is. And it's just the way things are these days. They're updating these things now. I mean, the original RoboCop is like 50 years old, isn't it? Or 40 something years old? When did the first movie come out? Wasn't it like 80
87.
something?
Yeah, it was 80.
Yeah, so it's about to be 40 years old. So like it's you gotta update a few things at least, but also trying to make, I don't think they're gonna want to make this thing so gory and hardcore that nobody wants to see it. Or like a fewer people
Again, losing pretty much all the luster of the original. I think this is just the case of
But John,
it's kind of like
think about it this way.
Prime Directives. I don't know if anybody remembers that, the miniseries that came out. It's just like, it's gonna be, you know what it's gonna be? It's what all these kind of shows are. It's an entirely original thing where an IP is slapped on the cover. That's essentially what it's gonna be. Am I gonna watch it? Yes. Am I gonna probably hate it? Absolutely. But I love Dan Stevens too much.
That would be on brand for you, John.
But you gotta give it a chance for what it is, and then if you hate it, you hate it. That's fine. All I'm gonna say is this: think about it this way: if the original movie came out in 1987, if you were 30 years old and you went to see that original movie, you are just about 70 today, and by the time this show lands, you might be like closer to 75. That literally is an audience that you cannot make a business case for like building a show around that sensibility. Now, if you are nostalgic for the originals and that's what you want, I mean, you will always have those to go back to, but this is just gonna be something different and updated for the here and the now. So that it, you know, it's I'm okay with that personally. I think that's fine.
It's just like pretty much like 99% of the time, whenever it's like, oh, we're doing this for a new audience, it's just a sloppily written, how do you do fellow kids kind of show. But
I
it's
mean,
with
no, that's
and
not
then you're
true at
just
all.
kind of also
That's not
ruining
true at
this
all.
IP.
I think you're exaggerating. Like Battlestar Galactica, the original Battlestar Galactica.
Well, that was before all this fucking
sci-fi
made for the modern audience bullshit happened.
That's not
You know
true
what
at
I mean?
all. No,
Like anything like
no. I
post,
don't know
like,
what you mean.
2018.
I don't know what you mean, because if you go back to when they were remaking Battlestar Galactica, the thing was the original one was literally a cheap knockoff, pulpy version of a Star Wars movie that barely lasted at all and was like had a cult following, but like nobody took it seriously, and it basically like was something that most people didn't remember. But then Ronald D. Moore was like, I'm gonna make it for
And he killed
the modern times, and it's the greatest sci-fi show of all time. And that's not even like an exception to the rule. There's been other examples. That's just the biggest one. So yeah, I mean, I feel like this narrative of like updating for the here and the now is something that they've been doing for decades. It's not something that's happening only in the streaming era either. So, I mean, the fact that Ronald D. Moore was able to do what he did, like 22 episodes a season, is also remarkable. So, 'cause the
100%.
quality didn't dip, But anyway, I think this is, again, I'm not trying to like put down your perspective. I'm just trying to say, like, look, this isn't something that's been going on for the last 5-6 years. This has been going on for like 20 plus years.
It's like mainly for like the streaming
and it works
era is what I'm talking about. It's like usually when we're usually like I feel like Battlestar Galactica was an exception, not a rule. So that's
not also.
I agree with that too, John.
I don't. I think there's more examples to be. Like, for example, like you may not like the Watchmen show, but it's an Emmy-winning show that a lot of people loved, and it's considered, one of the best sci-fi shows of the recent generation. I mean, also Westworld, the new version of Westworld was considered.
Everyone fucking hated Westworld after the first season. What do you mean?
No, like, dude, it dropped off, I think, the last couple of seasons, but it had a pretty good run for a little while. I don't know. I'm just saying there's been other examples like this, but like RoboCop, I'm just saying on its own, you can't really do what the original movies did, not unless you literally say, okay, we're gonna remake the thing, play scene for scene, and it's gonna take place in the 80s, and then people are gonna be like the whole Moana thing, like, we already saw the original movie. Why don't you do something different?
I'm not saying like completely.
Which way does the argument go? Like, you know what I mean?
Remake it, because you can't do that. But like, I feel like, I don't know, the vibe just feels off to me. And when you're saying like all these buzzwords, that also kind of puts me off a little bit.
Well, the buzzwords feel repetitive, so like that's one thing. But like, I don't think that necessarily means. I mean, again, the show isn't out yet. When it comes out, we'll see. I trust.
At the end of the day, no matter how they modernize it, it's still going to be a fucking origin story, and like I get it, but I'm also annoyed by that.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's 8 episodes. It's like the same number as Lanterns, and so I don't know if that's for the better or for the worse for you. John.
Who is what studio is it? Like, where it's going to be on Prime?
It's Amazon MGM. It's going to be on Prime.
It's Amazon Prime Video, yeah.
So there's going to be just as many F-bombs for no fucking reason at all. Cool.
We'll find out. I mean, Jon Stewart swears way too much for no reason. But you know what? Anyway, that's aside.
Is that a fucking bird? Okay. Or just a bird. Could be just a bird. Maybe.
I think Jon Stewart's a fan of Tarantino movies. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, and now we move the fuck on to, I don't know if anybody else watches this, but like Gilded Age. Season 4 premiere date. It unveiled the teaser. It's gonna be on November 1st on HBO and HBO Max. So yeah.
Wait, doesn't your family watch this? Or like, I think
my family watches it. I didn't know if anybody else here watched it.
They film it, I think, partly in New York, and that they shoot some of the stuff in like the breakers. They've shot like the actual mansions like from the back in the day that these shows are about, from that part of the history of the U.S. But anyway, the Gilded Age,
they're on season 4. Woo!
Season 4. It's moving quick.
I'm behind on the times.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff.
Cool.
Tony!
hello.
Hi, Tony.
But yeah, now we move on to kind of sort of biz of Hollywood. I mean, it's not really like merger talks or anything like that,
Not yet.
um, but yeah, Dan, Sam Register, apparently leaving as Warner Brothers Animation president. If that's for better or for worse, we don't know yet.
Hey Tony, I was gonna say, okay, so Sam Register was the head of Warner Brothers Animation since 2007. He was at Cartoon Network before then. He's kind of worked his way up the ladder, and this to me, the reason I wanted to talk about this is it's not it's indirectly about the merger, not directly about it, because basically what happened. What happened is Sam Register's contract was going to come up for renewal, and Channing Dungey, who runs all of Warner Brothers Television, including Warner Brothers Animation.
Dungeon? Wait, that's his name?
Channing Dungey, and it's a woman.
Dungy, okay. I thought it was Dungeon. I was like, what a fucking name.
But Channing, it's a woman. It's not a man. And yeah, it's a black woman who's worked her way up the executive. Anyway.
Okay, what are you like trying to frame this like I'm fucking racist or something?
No, I'm just trying to say like you're just
okay. Why does that matter? Why are you bringing
race but this? Anyway, so Channing Dungey, whose contract comes up for renewal herself later next year. We've talked about other executives leaving Warner Brothers recently. Sam Register basically decided mutually, and so it seems like it was both sides were like, we're not going to renew a contract, so Sam is leaving Warner Brothers Animation. They're not going to hire a replacement. He has a bunch of other executives who work under him for like sub departments that do like, specials and features and comedy. So like Warner Brothers Animation does a lot of things. They do DC stuff. They'll do like shows. They'll do movies. It's all part of the Warner Brothers Animation group. Now, they still have those people around, but Sam Register, I think, because when you think about it, in the last few years, HBO Max has stopped taking a lot of the animation projects that Warner Brothers Animation has been working on for years because they want to be more adult oriented. And then in general, it's just they've had a lot of cutbacks. Like Hanna-Barbera UK had a bunch of stuff got canceled. Like obviously, like they shelved the Coyote versus Acme movie, stuff like that. So in general, I feel like Sam Registered, they imply in this article, he felt like there wasn't as much for him to do, and he felt kind of limited, and he was like, I want to be growing into this role, I want to do all these things, and it seems like animation isn't a priority at Warner Brothers right now. And at the time like this one, who knows what's going to happen in a year from now, because Paramount and Skydance have their own animation studios that will probably get merged together, and he's probably wondering like, am I going to renew my contract and be let go next year? So I'm guessing what happened here is he decided, I'm going to go find other career options elsewhere, and Warner Brothers Animation is also kind of on the rocks anyway, so good luck to you guys, and we'll see you down the road. So yeah, I think in that sense this is kind of connected to the merger, that it's, again, they're bleeding talent at Warner Brothers, and now the executive level, and again next year it might come down to James Gunn, Peter Safran at some point, because their contracts will come up for renewal. Casey Bloys, who's the head of HBO as well, so, and like I said, Channing Dungey, her contract will come up for renewal as well. So yeah, anyway, that's I think is big news. It's just not something that a lot of people would pay attention to, that Sam Register is leaving. Like he's been at Cartoon Network, he's been at the company in some fashion or another for like 30 years at this point, or more or less, or was. But yeah, and then Mike Schur, I mean, the guy who behind Saturday Night Live, The Office, Parks and Rec, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, he wrote an op-ed in the Hollywood Reporter saying that, look, a market that ceases to function when competition disappears, and it is disappearing, talking about how this merger is existential for writers, because you talk about the recent strikes that the writers were a part of a few years ago. One of the things they wanted were more protections from things like mini writers' rooms, which is essentially studios would hire writers for like shortened writers' rooms, short contracts, and try to use that to their advantage rather than giving them full-time jobs for proper periods of time to develop a season. And so writers are already struggling, because when you have one less studio, there's fewer options, fewer employers. And coming from the guy who's got a lot of clout like Mike Schur, I think this resonates more than if it was just like some random writer who has made one or two things or has never executive produced anything. So I think this, again, is anti-merger, yes, but I think it's an important perspective from somebody who's been working in the industry for decades and has so many shows greenlit and currently ongoing. So yeah, I mean, I think Warner Brothers and Paramount. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. But you're starting to see these are downstream effects more so than just what's going on with the merger itself. Executives leaving, big name writers like also calling this out. I mean, there's also, we're not going to touch upon what's been going on with the Mark Ruffalo situation and him calling out this merger recently, because that gets very controversial in other ways that we don't really touch upon on the show. But yeah, I mean, all of Hollywood is sort of like looking at this and seeing how this all plays out. And obviously we have talked about this at length, so I'll leave it there for now and let you guys talk about Lizz at the movies. We've got not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six.
Baby.
We have 7 movies. The amount of championships LeBron James wishes he got when he went to Miami. But you know what,
that'll
Liz,
probably
you
be
did
it for
see
him.
7 movies.
And
So
I'll be
let's
seeing
talk
5
about it.
this weekend. So they just keep coming, gang. They just keep coming. Yeah, wherever you guys want to start. Holy cow. It's a lot.
Let's yeah. It's just
It's a
this fucking
lot.
movie. Hotspot. I saw a trailer for this and I'm like, this, I hate every second of this. So did you feel the same way about the movie, Liz?
I didn't hate every second of it. I loved the styling. I loved the world building here. So it is a Polish film with a lot of Polish actors. It is a dystopian film, but they kept it really, really real, which I really, really love. So in the very beginning of the film, it started off by saying there is no future. Energy and water are non-existent. Everybody has it's kind of like the Matrix in the sense that everybody has plugged into this hive mind, so to speak, called the head. So you can communicate with one another through your mind. You can also see what other people are seeing. If you want to like send a screenshot, you can say, oh, send this picture to whoever I want. So it's very dystopian, but it's realistically dystopian in the sense that we can't afford anything, so we just keep upgrading old stuff. So everybody drives really old vehicles, but they're all solar powered. They're all driverless cars, things of that nature. However, this was a confusing movie, as in that they don't really explain anything. Again, everybody is plugged into the head. They have these refugees who refuse to be plugged in, and they call them cyber witches. They somehow have a way of manipulating the system through their own telepathic connection. So the main character is a police officer, a detective, and he's responsible for kind of tracking down these refugee cyber witches, cyber criminals. But again, they don't really explain how any of them sabotage the head, how it all came to be, what the end game result is gonna. It kind of ended the way that The Circle ended, where the big bad technology still kind of got to do whatever it wanted and took over. So while I liked the way they put everything together, I don't understand what the point of it was. I don't understand what they were trying to
I do like this poster.
tell us or showcase us. Again, the world building was really cool. The environment was really cool, very realistic. Like I said, super dystopian. When people die, they're put their resources are basically they're harvested for their water and for their energy. Which is definitely where we're fucking headed. But other than that,
that was one of the main plot points of Tank Girl. I remember that.
But other than that, it was confusing at the end of the day, because like I said, they don't really explain themselves. At one point, somebody does try to hack the head, and it's revealed who does that. But again, doesn't explain how or why, or like it just so. Interesting film, very disappointing plot and ending. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I think the only name that you recognize in it is Noomi Rapace. She is in such films.
She was in Game of Shadows. She was in the original.
Noomi Rapace does some.
She was in
crazy
Mother.
Dragon Tattoo trilogy.
Yeah, Django. Yeah. So she's
was in
been in
that
a couple
show
things.
Constellation.
Yeah, so she was the biggest actress that you would know in the film. Again, a lot of other Polish actors in it. It was filmed mostly in Poland, but it's a weird one. If you like weird things, check it out. Hopefully you have a better understanding
This
of it
would
than I
probably
did.
be
But
like Caleb's favorite movie of the year. Like, if I
you
had
would
to
probably
take a
dig it,
guess.
Caleb. Yeah, you would probably dig it. But again, I just wish that it kind of made more sense. But it was interesting to watch, that's for sure. And again, the stylizing, the way they put this world together, the way they kind of envisioned the future made a lot of sense to me. It was very cohesive. It was very well thought out. So yeah, so I'll give it a 6.5. I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. But yeah, you don't need to see it on the big screen. Let's just leave it there. Next one, please, my dear. Yeah, she was in the girl with the dragon tattoo. Tony, gang, Anthony Bourdain was a real asshole. But in the very beginning of the film, they take a quote directly from Kitchen Confidential where he says just that. Where
It's
he
right
says,
down here. You could see the
where he says at this time period, I was a real piece of shit. And he fucking was. What an asshole. However, this movie made me fall in love with Antonio Banderas all over again. He was really fantastic in this film as Tony's sort of mentor, so to speak. Also, our boy from Tuner was in it.
Tony being mentored by Tony.
Yes, Tony being mentored by Tony. But our boy Leo Woodall, good God, Lady Boner, our boy from Tuner is also in it. He was great.
Amelia
it was
Jones,
really good.
I would say that's a regular boner.
There you go.
Boner.
It was really good. I wouldn't say it gave us really any insight into Tony necessarily. Like, we do get into his family life just a little bit, but this is really just kind of how he got started in the kitchen. Whereas originally he was a writer. He wanted to write, you know, the next great American novel. But instead he ended up in a situation where he kind of had to work as washing dishes to, you know, make a living, and that kind of set him on a different path. So again, all of the acting was excellent. The pacing of this one was pretty good. Like I said, Anthony Bourdain, what an asshole he was at the time. Thankfully, he's redeemed himself since over time, so to become the guy that we all know and love.
He was still a bit of a pompous dickhead.
He was. I mean, he was pompous for sure. He was. I mean. But what chef isn't, unfortunately? It's very fucking pretentious. But I'm gonna go ahead and give this one an 8 out of 10. Like I said, it didn't really, it wasn't really the story that I think they thought they were telling, but it was still an interesting snapshot into this very well-known figure's life. So I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Cool. Nice. Next up, we have this thing.
You guys, I loved this movie. It was really cute. It was really, really fun. All of the actresses were phenomenal. This is the first time I've gotten to see Anna Faris like really act and not be goofy or just over the top. And yes, her character, it was kind of a little goofy in this one as well. But I really, really like her. Michelle Buteau, I got the opportunity to see doing her stand-up earlier this year. I got her autograph. Knocks it out of the park in anything she goddamn does. She's incredible. Isla also out of control. She was really, really funny. But this is a really fun. There were a ton of people in my theater for this one. This was a good one. It was a really good time. It wasn't too campy. It wasn't too corny. A little tongue-in-cheek, but it was a really good time, especially for people in my age group, in the over 40 crowd. So if you want to go check out a really good chick flick, a really good female comedy, I recommend this one. It was a lot of fun. I'll go ahead and give this one an 8.5 out of 10. And there is a hot yoga instructor in it too.
Between the Rotten Tomato scores, damn. But like, yeah, that's the case of like most movies like this. Like,
listen, it's entertaining. It's entertaining.
Fun little movie. Usually critics don't really like that kind of thing, so that makes sense. Yeah.
All right, let me try and fix my audio. Sorry, guys. Hopefully that's a little better for you. Anyway. So yeah.
Next up, Ronald Reagan propaganda. I mean, the brink of war.
I will say this wasn't the worst of the Ronald Reagan propaganda that we have seen lately. I don't understand why we need 20 different fucking films.
There's only 3 images for this fucking thing.
To be fair, it was interesting. It was actually the film itself was actually dedicated to George Shultz, who was played by J.K. Simmons, who we all love. So it was really more about George Shultz's relationship with Ronald and him helping him secure this agreement.
The only relationship I care about is if they just had a full-on sex scene and they were just kissing and smooching.
I'm sorry to say they did not. It was an interesting way to tell a story. the pacing was decent for which is just essentially a film about a conversation between two people. But hey, it was all right. Was the writing great? No. Was the acting great? Not really.
But was it better than the Dennis Quaid acts like a mentally challenged Ronald Reagan movie?
Yes, by far. Yes, it was not the special needs Ronald Reagan that we were given by Dennis Quaid. I will say Jeff Daniels did a decent job. He just wasn't believable as Reagan for me. He didn't have the overall look, but he did do a decent job. So again, even though it wasn't anything exciting, I will say the pacing, like I said, was decent for what it was. It was an interesting way to tell the story.
The best Ronald Reagan movie is They Live. Well, that's more about Reaganomics, but yes.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and give this one a 7 out of 10 as well. It's certainly not one that you need to see on the big screen. And then, of course, Angel did its usual thing where they were trying to get you to buy tickets for other people because this is a film that needs to be seen, whatever the fuck, after the fact. So, whatever. Angel's gonna Angel, but it was all right. I mean, I love Jared Harris, so he did a pretty decent job as a British guy playing a Russian guy. So, whatever. Next one, John.
Next one, baby. Oi, it's a mutiny.
So we made fun of the title, and the mutiny wasn't on Jason Statham's part. The mutiny did happen, so it's all about Jason Statham, as we know, as he plays in every film. He was a bodyguard for a shipping conglomerate CEO, and the
doing
CEO
the Die
gets
Hard shot here, but not nearly as good.
So he and the CEO get ambushed. The CEO gets killed. He gets framed for his murder. Again, does this sound like any other Jason Statham film you've ever fucking seen? It
sounds like every Jason Statham movie.
So he tracks down.
That is pretty much this movie. Dump is. That's most Jason Statham movies.
So he tracks down one of the individuals responsible for the ambush, so he can get to the bottom of who killed his boss and clear his name. He ends up on a tanker and finds out that they are trafficking people. So the mutiny is actually what the crew themselves. They're the mutiny against the owner, what have you. Anyway, as you can imagine, once he finds out that there's human trafficking, hilarity ensues. So listen, it's a great time. He gets reunited with his Fast and Furious co-star, Annabelle Wallis. She's great. Love her. It was a good one. Again, action on the high seas. I'll go ahead and give it an 8 out of 10. I had a good time. And I love my Jason. So there you are. Mutiny. Enjoy. Go see it.
Yeah, another big discrepancy. But hey, that's Jason Statham movies for you.
And again, I apologize that I sound a little off. For those who don't know, I had surgery on my tongue, so that's what's going on there.
You don't sound any different. Like, you're fine.
I sound awful to me. It drives me
paranoid.
crazy.
You don't sound
No,
that much
I sound so bad to me. I can't whistle. It's like the weirdest thing. But anyway, next one. Let's go on to the next one.
Then we have this one, a Jane Schoenbraun film, which, a lot of people really love. Certain niche really love her, so I'm very curious with what you thought about this.
Listen, gang, to quote Forrest Gump, I am not a smart man. I do not get artistic films. I do not get metaphors or allegories.
Well, yeah,
so,
you just gave Mutiny an 8 out of 10. I think we kind of figured that one.
Fuck right off, John. I'm just saying I'm not a student of film and theater, so anybody else can go analyze this shit all day long and probably get more out of it than I did. I enjoyed it. I thought, on this one, the world building was great. They kept it campy, but at the same time had a deeper meaning to it. This was a lesbian's sexual awakening via horror. That's the best way I can describe it.
That's pretty much what I've gathered from. Yeah,
I just went to see it because I love Gillian Anderson, and her with a southern accent was appealing to me. I do like. Sorry, I'm getting everybody's name. I do like Hannah Einbinder. I liked her in Hacks. I've seen some of her stand-up. She's all right. The chemistry between the two of them was good. It was an interesting, like I said, it was an interesting world. Going back to, talking about this Camp Massima franchise of horror films. but I couldn't tell you what the fuck it was about at the end of the day, and why they made the decisions that they made. There was a lot with Candy, and again, sexual identity and sexual awakening, and I don't know. The writing was interesting. The pacing was fine. I'll give it a 7 out of 10, but again, this dum-dum left the theater going, the fuck did I just watch? But hey, if y'all like
that's
really
how it is for most
artsy shit like this,
people
enjoy
with
yourself.
Jane Schoenbrunn films. She also directed I Saw the TV Glow, which had Justice Smith in it, which was pretty much a very
I didn't get a chance to see that one.
That it's essentially
that.
the movie, and I don't mean this in like a negative way. I haven't seen the movie. Again, I'm not really terribly interested in her kind of movies, but but I Saw the TV Glow was essentially like the experience of like what trans people go through in terms of like trying to find themselves and the ultimate fear of like never being themselves because of what society tells them to be. So it was essentially like trans awakening kind of movie. And then her first film, Let's All Go to the World's Fair, that was essentially steeped in internet culture and very much steeped into like mid 2010s creepypastas. So, you know, the only reason I want to watch this one is purely out of spite, because
I want to watch it to get your opinion of it, John, because you're the horror guy. I want to know what your thoughts are.
From what I've gathered from a friend of mine who is a big fan of Jane's films, she loved all three, and I used to follow this guy on Letterboxd, and it was like he's a popular guy on Letterboxd, and I followed him, and the thing is, he wrote this review. It was pretty scathing. He didn't really like this movie, and essentially, at the end of the movie, he claims he didn't mean it like this, but many people gathered that it felt like this. Was he recommended to watch Sleepaway Camp instead, when that is very much considered like kind of retroactively an anti-trans movie. So it's like, oh, you're shitting on this very pro LGBTQ director and recommending an anti-trans movie. So now I just want to see it out of spite, just for that fucking asshole.
Well, and they actually do bring that up. They do bring up anti-trans, anti-LGBTQ plus in horror films in this movie, and it's a big point of contention. So the whole premise is that Hannah goes back. I'm sorry, Erin. Oh my God, I lost her name. Hannah. It was Hannah. That Hannah goes and she's trying to, which is what we're used to these days. She's trying to reboot this beloved, very long franchise, but she doesn't want it to be an origin story. She doesn't want it to be, just be the regular studio slop.
So adaptation in a kind of way, like with Nick Cage. Like, I'm kind of getting the vibe from that a little bit.
She's kind of trying to turn it on its head, and correct, also some of the anti-trans tropes that they had made in the past in some of the films. But Gillian Anderson was one of the original stars in the very first film that set the whole franchise off, but she hasn't been seen since the first film. So she goes to meet her to get more of an understanding of the character and see if she would be welcomed back in.
Right.
If she would participate in that franchise yet again. And then, they make out a little bit and eat a lot of candy and fried chicken and...
Oh yeah, eat candy.
There's a shit ton of candy in it, and I don't know those references, so hopefully Tony can explain some shit to my dumb ass, but hey.
I thought eating candy was just a euphemism for cunnilingus.
It was not. But it might be part of the metaphor in the film. I don't fucking know what I watched, man. Again, it was entertaining. The pacing was good. Like I said, I liked the world building itself. I liked the setup the sets that they created, and the nostalgic way that they kind of showcase these classic horror tropes. So again, 7 out of 10 for me. But I still couldn't tell you what the fuck I watched, honestly.
Nice. Speaking of inability to understand what the fuck I just watched, because I saw the trailer for this and I'm like,
yeah,
what's fucking AI children cut? sugar-coated slop did I just watch?
I genuinely thought that this was going to be boring and cheesy. It was actually really delightful, really, really sweet. It reminded me kind of a lot of like those Winnie the Pooh films. Andrew Garfield's character grew up in the countryside, where he had all these great plans, these grand plans, this big imagination. Ends up with his wife in the city and their kids, and they get kind of jaded, and they're all into technology and likes and Wi-Fi, and the family has an issue, and they decide to move from the big city back to the countryside, back to Andrew Garfield's character's hometown, and the kids discover this enchanted tree that houses Nicola Coughlan and the guy who played the dad in Ted Lasso, Nonzo and Ozzy, who I love. But anyway, it's actually a really good time, super delightful. It's a good one for little kids. It is based on a book series, apparently. Again, the stylizing was great. The world building was really cool. I'm assuming there's going to be sequels because I feel like they kind of wrapped it up really quickly, whereas there's definitely a lot more that could be explored there. But for the most part, it was a good time.
They're not going to make sequels to this shit.
We'll see. Now. We'll see. But again, pacing was decent. I mean, there was, I was the only person in the theater. They're definitely not, they didn't advertise this well at all. Again, it is based on
a trailer for it, I think, before, like, probably like Hoppers or some kids movie.
Yeah.
And I was
so
like, what
the
fuck is this?
It is based on a book series. It'll probably do better in the UK since it is, a UK film, probably based on UK books. But hey, it was all right. It was a good time. Also, again, Claire Foy is in it. Judi Dench does a voiceover for a certain part of it as well. There's a lot of pretty decent actors in it. Jessica Gunning, who's really big right now.
Magic Fairway epic crime saga. Let's go. No, sorry.
But again, it was really delightful, really, really sweet, had nice meaning behind it. I'll go ahead and give it an 8.5 out of 10. Just again, I liked the world building and I liked the message overall. It
you
wasn't
use that a lot, world building. You're really a big fan of world building.
Well, yes, it's an environment we've never seen before, and I think they did a really good job with the consistency of the world and everything made sense.
In 100%. That's a fucking UK book series. Hell, that's like the most British name I've fucking seen in my life.
But I mean, you can see it's got a decent audience score. It's got a decent rating for what it is. But like I said, they're not going to make any money, unfortunately. But it's a cute one. If you've got little kids, it's worth checking out.
Yeah.
And that's it. I'm done. I'm done until next week.
Until next week, where you see 5.
I'm seeing 5.
More
so
movies.
Please, this weekend, in addition to Coyote versus Acme, please go see The White Dragon. Please go see Idiots. Those look hilarious. I'm really looking forward to those.
I have.
So,
oh my god, I have so. I'm planning to see. Unfortunately, the tickets haven't come up yet on the app, so I don't have a chance to get them yet. But I plan to see Tony with my parents on Thursday. I plan to see the Terminator 2 re-release on Friday. I plan to see
so many anniversary shows right now. Yeah.
On Saturday. I'm going to be seeing something on Sunday, probably Buddy, because I'm really curious about that. Maybe Idiots, if I can see.
No, sir. I can't wait for Idiots. That looks hilarious.
Buddy, Idiots, or both. And then on Monday, I actually have a doctor's appointment, and the doctor's building is literally next to my movie theater. So I'm might as well go see a movie. I mean, I'm right here. So I'm probably going to try and see either Teenage Sex at Camp Miasma, or
I really want your opinion on that one because I know.
But yeah, and then I'm gonna be seeing The Dog Stars at some point with my dad next week.
That's on my list.
Because again, my fucking weekend is filled to the. I'm really using that AMC Stubbs A-list. I even have actually because
I put my schedule together.
I even have. I gotta use these because the thing is, you can't submit these on an app. I do have free passes because my.
You can actually. You can use those on the app.
I can because I tried
I'll tell you
to
how. Because it's got 2 codes on it. Yeah, I'll tell you.
Because my Evil Dead re-release screening, it was famously in this bad theater in my megaplex because Theater 7, the eponymous Theater 7, is notorious. The first time I noticed it was when watching the Evil Dead, considering it was an older movie and the sound system sucks. So and I think it was probably in mono or something. So it literally sounded like the entire movie was like in like underwater, and it was not great. And then I saw a couple more movies in that same theater. Like I saw the re-release of Birdcage. I saw a couple more because this is like, it's a super small theater, so that's where all like the movies that nobody goes to see, those they get designated to this theater. And I noticed that there was some sound issues, but like nothing to ruin the movie. And then I went to go see Nimrods last week, and pretty much literally the entire movie sounded fine except for when the Green Day songs played. It sounded like it was underwater, and I'm like, god damn it, like the one of the best parts of the movie that I want to hear is the Green Day music. So I couldn't even hear that. It's a shame because the movie, I enjoyed it, but like I just couldn't, like, again, the sound system was not very good. So I'm like, guys, you need to fucking fix that sound system, bro. Like, you really, come on now, let's fix that sound system. I know you guys are bleeding money, but like, come on now. But anyway.
But hey, if you don't want to see any of that, you can see the anniversary release of Fast and the Furious, Terminator. There's 2 Harry Potter films they're putting out this weekend.
Yeah, but
so
like, why would you want to see Fast and Furious when you can see?
Wait, somebody said
like,
Fast and Furious? Yeah, no, I'm just.
Yeah, you know what I ranked the re-release of Fast and Furious.
You don't turn your back on family.
Verified rotten. If you want to see a re-release, go watch Terminator 2. Come on now. Come on. Anyway.
By the way, did you get to see Fifth Element, John?
I did.
Okay. Did you like it?
I thought it was great. I had no fucking idea what was going on half the time, but I thought it was a great time.
Yes.
Like, and actually, fun fact, I got banned from a Discord server because of my opinion on that movie.
Oh.
Well, more of the review. I'll tell you later because it's kind of inappropriate, but like, yeah,
Anyway.
they essentially, what happened was I released this review, and then I came back to the server, and then I threw a joke through my review. The owner of the server banned me, so I was like, well, okay, well, what are you gonna do? But anyway, quick hit time. That's very low. Anyway, next up, Snoop movie taps Lauren London to play rap star's mom in Universal biopic. Cool, great, don't really care.
Yep.
Simon Rex joins Isaac Gonzalez and Brandon Sklenner in bodybuilding drama Iron Jane from Lizette Feliciano. Cool, great. Adele.
I'm happy for Simon. I love Simon, and he's been in a lot more things lately, so good for him.
Adele Exarchopoulos. I know it's a French name. I can never pronounce it.
That sounded pretty good.
Park Chan-wook's
Is it a French name or a Greek
Brigands of
name?
Rattle Creek at Warner Brothers
It's
Clockwork.
Greek.
Cool, nice. Amazing Spider-Man 2. Shailene Woodley reveals why Mary Jane was cut from the sequel and scrap plans.
Timing constraints. Timing constraints.
It was too much. Yeah, and there was not a lot of scenes anyway. So, yeah. Let's wait for her to die, and then we'll introduce Mary Jane, which made sense. So, yeah, poor Shailene Woodley. But I enjoyed seeing her in Motor City, so that's cool. Street Fighter movies, Ryu wasn't very good at the game. He admits, I was a button masher. Honestly, respect for being honest, because when it comes to fighting games, I am also a button masher.
Hell
I
yeah.
suck at fighting games. So, yeah, I'm with you on that one. But, yeah, good, great, looks awesome. Can't wait to see it. Anyway, apparently we're getting a Bel Air spin-off, Hillary, starring Coco Jones, is in the works at Peacock from Tracy Oliver and Westbrook. Why do we care? I don't know.
I can't believe that this is like still a show. So.
Well, Bel Air ended, so now they're doing the spin-off.
It's still it went on longer than I feel it should have, but.
One Piece season 3 adds 4 new cast members for the Battle of Alabasta. Cool, great.
I might start watching this because 3 seasons I can catch up.
Danielle Fishel says Girl Meets World got stuck in Boy Meets World Shadow. Yeah, no fucking shit, Sherlock. The rookie creator Alexei Hawley renews overall deal at Lionsgate TV. Cool, we're getting more police slop from this gentleman. Ain't that nice? Although I do love Nathan Fillion, so there is that. Survivor versus the Traitors. Will Emmy voters finally give the original reality juggernaut its due? Probably not. I Love Lucy scores TV Academy's inaugural Legacy Award. The new Emmys tribute recognizes series that have profoundly impacted the television medium across generations, and yeah, that fucking makes sense. YouTube changes how it counts views, but not what actually counts. Yes, apparently there is going to be public views and views that actually counts, where if you click on a video or it auto plays or you play it for like a second, that counts as a view now, which is like one of the things everyone hated about like clickbaity stuff of like the late 2000s and how those counted views. So now, yeah, in order to like boost like viewership for corporations, they're doing this now, which is it's just like YouTube making good decisions. They make as many good decisions as Warner Brothers at this point. Honestly,
you know, I wish I had that sound effect of like inconceivable, like, you know, this is
womp womp. So yeah, YouTube sucks. What a shock. Yeah. And then we just like this becomes canceled.
But hey,
like,
thanks for subscribing, guys.
But yeah, that's it for quick hits, buds.
Yay!
There we go. Kal-El, yes, because we're going to DCU Daily. But thanks for watching the news portion of this wonderful show. Now, let's move on to DCU Daily. Let's be blessed. Let's do all the things. Have a lot of fun. And yeah.
It's another project that's been blessed from the beginning.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see
right there.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Now you want to get nuts?
Let's get nuts.
Here we go.
Victory mine. Ask me how am I doing? I'm telling you, really, I'm doing sublime. I never wait in a stewardess line. I just go do it. I'm moving my time. Really had nothing to do with it. How am I moving? I'm moving like you want to shine. Follow my lead. Don't listen to lies. I had to put me all on the line. That's why I know that victory's mine. I prefer Jared Leto.
Hunka hunka.
Hello, people. Welcome to DCU Daily. I am John. Hello. Welcome. We're here. Anyway, yeah. Hello. Welcome to this wonderful show we have. We also have Liz here.
You do. Hello.
What are you excited to talk about today, Liz?
I guess lanterns.
Cool. Nice. Anyway, but
watching the Batmobile run in circles for the 10th time.
Yep.
I'm not even on the show every day. Gotta
milk the Batman 2 cash cow. Ain't that fun? No,
you guys are making me over it. You're making me sad about this.
Yeah, already sick of it. Anyway, you know what I am sick of? The quick hits. Just kidding. No, I'm not. I would never be sick of the quits because I get to see Tim Meadows' face every time we do. And who doesn't love Tim Meadows? Probably the people he ate in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But, you know, that's beside the point.
He did it with a smile.
He did do. Honestly, I wouldn't mind getting eaten by Tim Meadows. I think that would be a good way to go out. In all honesty, like, don't you think, Liz?
He would eat you respectfully.
Yeah, to be fair, I do have things he likes. I have very big thighs, so you know, I know that he was a big fan of that in the show. But yes, they did massacre your boy Sinestro. They massacred massacred all of our boys, Sinestro. But let's get into other things at first. Sorry for this terrible thing, but you know, the Vulture is an asshole, and I'm not, you know, gonna pay for your shit. But apparently the Batman animated series writers didn't like the roided up villain Bane and the intrusion on their rogues gallery, which makes no fucking sense because literally the whole point of Bane is that he's the antithesis of Batman. But I guess they didn't like that. It's like you literally reinvented Mr. Freeze. You couldn't have done that for that iteration of Bane? I guess not. So they didn't do that. Okay. But yeah, great. I wish I could read more, but I can't because, you know, the Vulture sucks. But speaking of Bane, Batman Nightfall Part 1 is available on digital. Unfortunately, it is not available on HBO Max just yet, because much like how movies are available to rent, that's what essentially this is. It's available to rent on certain in certain places for like $20, and then it will be available on streaming eventually. I know it's available on physical next month, but yeah, Batman Nightfall Part 1 is I believe it's gonna. I don't know where it's actually available, and for some reason it doesn't say on Google, which is weird because it usually does. Anyway, but yeah, I'm gonna watch this because I need some good DC content. God knows I'm not getting it from Lanterns, so hopefully this will be great. I mean, my friend watched it; he said it was really really good. So I plan to watch this soon enough, but I don't know if I will pay for it. Apparently, it's available to purchase Amazon Prime and Apple TV. So if you have either of those and are willing to choke up $20 for it, then cool. But if you're not, then you can ride the high seas with a bottle of rum like I am probably going to, but I hate to not support it, but I also am broke. So,
Why so serious?
Okay.
That scared
But
the
yeah,
shit out of
apparently
me,
this
Dan.
is concept art of Gotham for Nightfall, which fucking looks great. Look at this. Look at this beauty. Look at this beaut. Yes, I'm definitely if the entire thing is good, then I'm definitely going to be getting it on physical media. Dr. Pepper. Anyway, why so serious? I'm not serious. Why do you think I'm serious? Anyway, it's beautiful. I've looked at this for 5 hours now. Honestly, yeah, for realsies. Jenny Lee, appreciate you. But yeah, looking awesome. But yeah, moving on. And then we have this thing from Lanterns. Chicks dig the car. Ladies dig the constructs. It's like, yeah, that's sure, bud.
Not the bottle opener. That's lame.
Yeah, like, come on, get out of here.
Use your teeth like a real man.
I gotta say though, I mean, Liz, do you think Hal is having an effect on Sheriff Carrie Kane at all? Like, he's clearly like hitting on her like at every moment. It's like obviously he knows that it ain't there's nothing to it unless he doesn't. But I thought it was, I don't know. Does he come across as a little bit of a douche, or is he?
Yeah, he comes across as somebody who hits on any woman ever. That's how he comes across. I don't think the two of them are going to end up together. I don't think she's interested in it like that.
I don't think so either. Yeah.
But
I think they bone.
I think she's more willing to work with him. I think they're going to get drunk
together and they bone. They're definitely setting that up. So
bone. I am your superior officer.
All right.
I just started rewatching that again.
Bud. You can't.
I just started rewatching that again. It makes me so happy, that fucking show.
Hold on, I gotta.
Anyway, yeah. No, I don't think he's wearing her down in that sense. I think John's over it. John's over.
No, I'm just redoing my camera because it's
there. You go.
Stupid head. But yeah, cool, great. Moving on. Apparently John Stewart summons you. POV John Stewart summons you, and it's a green bird.
Oh, there he goes. Oh, okay. Nice.
That is a green ass bird. They gotta have like Photoshop that or like
John meant to bone.
Yeah, sorry. That's definitely they definitely used a filter or whatever the fuck. But yeah, that's fun.
Like Rosa, you just too need to. Why did you do that, Rosa? I'm like,
Sebastian Stan playing coy about his transformation for the Batman Part 2. There are always transformations, external or internal, when you play a character. All right, fucking.
He and being the allegations.
Aristotle, get out of here! Like, oh, yeah, we got it. Yeah,
he's a professional, John. He's done this once or twice before. He knows what to say and what not to say.
But Keyblade Master is asking for Lanterns. What are your thoughts on the show so far? What is your current ranking?
I still feel like it's way too early. I'm going to rate it when it's all said and done. I think I said this before with the first one. For the length of the episodes we're getting, I don't think we're getting the amount of content we should be getting within that period of time. Every single time the episodes end, I'm very disappointed, feeling like we were shortchanged for it being as long as it is. Not that it's some epic. It's not like Game of Thrones length, but still, for it to be a 45-minute to an hour long show, we're not getting a hell of a lot of content, and that bums me out. I can see the chemistry is starting to build amongst the different characters, the actors. That I like. I like that the relationships are coming together now. But I also still don't care for the pacing at all. But I do. I like Kyle. I like the way he's handling his character. I love Aaron. I think Aaron's doing a bang up job. He's for me, he and Kyle are holding up the show right now, and as they should be. But yeah, it's still not. I mean, it seems to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an asshole because I'm, as you guys know, I'm really not a Lanterns person. I'm not a DC person. I see plenty of other people who absolutely love the show. So maybe I'm wrong, but for me, it's not doing it for me just yet. But again, I'm going to reserve my rating until it's all said and done.
Yeah. Like so far for me, it's like a 4 out of 10. I agree with the geeky guy, and for lack of a better word, world of weeb. So, it's just like, I feel like it just spends a lot of time kind of just inane doing nothing, and then it just ends. But hey, it has a hook. Oh my God, Sinestro. We have a hook. And then it's going to be a flashback episode. I'm like, sure. Okay.
I mean, I know, like, I don't have to say it again, but I completely disagree with you guys because I'm enjoying the shit out of the show so far. Like, I think both episodes I gave 9.5 out of 10. So,
but you also love For All
really
Mankind, and the pacing on that show it fucking drags too.
Okay,
as much as
we'll agree.
I'm not to say that I don't like it, but
fantastic. It's fine. I mean, hey, we have different tastes. It's all good. It's all good.
Hi, Jalen.
I will say,
yeah.
somebody actually mentioned this, and I mentioned this on another. I think you were there for that, geeky guy. Where it was essentially what it should have been. Lanterns should have been the movie, and Supergirl should have been the miniseries. And I'm like, honestly, I kind of agree with that.
I could
like
see
Lanterns,
that, yeah.
I think should have been the big cosmic space adventure, big epic movie, big budget. Not Craig Gillespie and Anna Nogueira writing and directing, but like that kind of thing. And then Supergirl, since it's based on, even though I personally don't care for the miniseries, I know a lot of other people do. That's where you should do like kind of the more experimental stuff with a lower tier character. While Lanterns, I feel like, okay, let's give it another chance and make that the big cosmic adventure. And a friend of mine brought that up, and I think I kind of agree with that. I think that's how it should have been. Because you're essentially bringing in another, like, the idea of, Superman is the movie where a guy from space does all of his stuff on Earth. Meanwhile, Lanterns is guys who are Earth-based heroes are doing space stuff. And I'm like, okay, that's an interesting dynamic to have. And I think that would have worked a hell of a lot better. But I know, like, DC and Warner Brothers have been like petrified to do Green Lantern again on the big screen after like the 2011 movie flopped so hard. But it's just like
but now it's like the number one streamer, so
it's just so weird. You've had worse flops, yet like Batman and Robin flopped arguably even harder, yet you brought that back like a decade later. So it's just like, I don't know, it just feels kind of weird that you're so scared to bring Green Lanterns back on the big screen that you're like, okay, designate it to TV and make it a true detective show, because sure, that'll work. But so yeah, I don't know, it's just like a weird thing.
Like, here's the thing.
And again, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I don't like it. I really want people to understand that. I'm not saying that I don't like it. I do like it. I want more.
I mean, look, let me tell you something. I think this show is a slow burn mystery, and I love slow burn mysteries as long as the payoff is good.
You love a slow burn, Dan. So, you know what you do.
No, because it's like, if the payoff is great, then it makes everything else worth it, which is why I think that's really where the show is going to make its money or not make its money. And I think the first 4 episodes, a lot of the critics have seen, and they've hinted that episode 4 is where there's a big turn. And then James Gunn, I think, mentioned that he really wants us to see episode 7 and 8. I mean, obviously, like, the big finale stuff. So, but the fact that
I was gonna say he's definitely said that about like all the other shows.
Like the 2011 movie is good, but I'm just saying, like,
it's a number one streamer right now, though. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's I'm not acting like the 2011 movie good. It's very flawed, but I'm not gonna act like it's like the worst thing since Cancer. Like, it's not the worst DC movie of all time. It has a lot of problems, but I feel like it was a lot of studio interference on why that movie became what it was.
But that was, again, but like, we don't need to rehash a movie from 15. Like, I think we have talked about that enough. Like, there's Greg Berlanti and his team weren't happy that they really, yeah, like you said, they had that taken out of their hands at one point. So, but this on the other hand, look, I enjoyed so far. Yesterday we were theorizing for 20 minutes about everything from the first two episodes, where what, again, from my perspective, good writing is when you're able to not only enjoy the show for what it is, but there's a lot of nuance that's, I call it reading between the lines, and I think there's a lot of that there. Like we were talking about, as Zoe, actually the Manhunter, like what's the vibe between like these different characters, and you do the look ahead trailers are giving you all these bits and pieces. Anton, it seems like that's Atrocitus, which means Red Lanterns might be coming in the future. If it's gonna have multiple seasons, you gotta imagine Sinestro, might bring in the Yellow Lantern connection. There's this other stuff, so. But on the two episodes so far, I mean, it's a slow burn mystery, so we'll see what it turns into. Because the second episode, I feel like the big thing about the second episode was it was more about character development and sort of peeling again the layers off the events from episode one. And while we did get an introduction to Anton, we learn a lot more about the background of Hal, like who he is as a person. There was still like, it was a slower episode than episode one, and that is often the case, especially for shows like this, because episode one, the pilot, is really meant to hook you and hope that you stick around for episode two, and then episode two they can start slowing things down. Now I know that John is like really hesitant that episode three is going to be a flashback episode, but I have a feeling they're not going to stick entirely within the flashback. Like they might actually kind of go back and forth, but we'll see. Because I mean, they spent the entire second episode in 2016, whereas like in the first episode, the last 5 or so minutes we went forward to 2026. So I guess we'll see if they do more of the back and forth moving forward. So I mean, let's keep going. We got more Lantern stuff later on in the show. We're just still in the quick hits. So.
But apparently, we talked about this briefly yesterday, but the whole thing of like James Gunn responding to the rumor that Brave and the Bold is on hold, that rhymed, until the merger is settled. So yeah, Dan Marcus claimed that Muschietti told him that all work on the movie is on hold because of the merger, and then James Gunn just came in as like, no, the fuck it isn't. Why the fuck you lying, bro?
So the nuance here today is, if you scroll down in this article, there's actually the person who first did this, like Dan Marcus, he kind of snapshotted something from his text chain and kind of gave us a little more nuance into like what actually, like, how did he even run across Andy Muschietti? Because they're not like, this guy's not a scooper. Because he was talking about how him, I think, did he say him and his brother, was it? Like ran into, or like him and his friend ran into Andy Muschietti coming out of a movie at one point, and they had a conversation in Spanish. So even he was like, well, maybe something got lost in translation, but also that, it was something where they just talked to him like walking out of a movie theater. So whatever he said was probably very brief and probably not like super insightful anyway, which kind of gives, again, credence to what James Gunn said. Like, look, it doesn't sound like something like Andy Muschietti was saying on the record. He was probably saying, like, we'll see what works out. Like maybe the things will pick up after the merger kind of thing. Or so it's the definition of like the game of telephone that happened here. And I'm glad that James Gunn came out and killed it right away, because this thing could have like obviously developed into more negative headlines than we already got for DC. So that was the update today that Dan Marcus kind of like posted about it more. So yeah. Anywho, I mean, Nelson's asking you guys a question. What are the rest of the season for Lanterns needs to do for you to enjoy it or give it a higher rating, I suppose? Yeah, what's the...
It needs to pick up more for me. That's all. It just needs to pick up.
Definitely pick up. I mean, the thing is, I'm not gonna get the show I really, really want. So within the context of what we're getting, like, I would say just like at least have it be like a good like mystery to have pick. The worst fear I have, like, I'm not gonna say like this is, it's gonna be like a perfect 10 out of 10 for me, because I don't think it's ever gonna be a perfect 10 out of 10 for me within like what they're doing with the characters that I like. But in terms of the context of the show, like the worst cardinal sin it'll do for me is, I remember this clip. I don't even know what the fuck it was from. I could never find it again. But it was essentially this guy. It was all in black and white, and the guy's like, it's the greatest suspense film of all time, where you wait for something to happen and then it doesn't, and then it ends. And I'm like, that's my biggest worry of like that's what this show is going to be. It's the ultimate suspense of waiting for something to happen, and then it fucking doesn't, and then it just ends. And I'm like, all right, great. That's kind of like what Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was, where it was just like you're waiting for something to happen, and then big cool
I get
fight.
it.
That's the only
Yeah.
memorable thing about the movie, and then it ends. So I just like that's the ultimate thing about slow burns I'm really worried about, is that you invest all this time into something and then it just like completely and utterly shits the bed. And I'm like, okay, well, I just wasted fucking 8 hours of my life that I'm never getting back. So, I just don't do that, and maybe I'll give it like a positive score. But like that's the biggest fear of that.
Yeah, my concern is that they're using the entire season to build up to this huge cliffhanger that'll have us excited for season 2. And it's like, okay, I don't need a whole season to then set up the next season. That drives me crazy. So I appreciate like the slow burn aspect, but like if it doesn't start to pick up by like episode 4 or 5, like we've got some real problems here.
Well, so to that point, Liz, I remember reading an interview from, I think it was Damon Lindelof and Chris Mundy, I think, where they did mention, and I'm having a hard time remembering if it was a podcast or something else, or maybe even like when they were at Comic-Con, that the story of this season is self-contained for the most part. Like, if this thing never gets renewed for a season 2, they're not going to give you. It's not one of those things where the mystery just like sends to the. If anything, I think that's what the MCU shows did for a long time. It felt like they were just you watching one episode for the next thing. I think here they said this is going to be like a story that is self-contained and it wraps up at the end of the season, and then that means if they don't get any more lanterns after this and season 2 doesn't happen, then you'll get a complete beginning, middle, and end. So they have to pay off whatever mystery, I mean, especially this particular mystery, I think. And that's what I keep saying, is like that mystery has to really pay off well. But there's so many other things they're setting up at this point. Like I think the world building has been great, and we haven't even seen Guy Gardner pop in yet. So I think like when he shows up, that's definitely going to get a lot of people buy in.
I'll be happy for that, yeah.
Because that's like the direct connection to Superman that a lot of the DC fans did enjoy, even if the ones who are not enjoying the show. So like when we get, I mean, again, it's 2 episodes in, there's 8 episodes. It means we're a quarter of the way through the season, but there's still a long way to go. So yeah, I mean, look at the glass quarter full, I guess, literally.
Nope, not did one say we're going to lanterns.
We're going to lanterns. There we go. We got there. Sorry, I forgot to reorganize this part.
That's okay. But I will say this artwork is looking pretty cool. DC Comics artist reveals their take on a masked Hal Jordan, and it's perfect. Well, we'll see how it's perfect. But Lucas Meyer couldn't resist. They did a quick sketch inspired by the Lantern TV show just for fun. Oh my God, how good Hick Kyle is as Hal Jordan. And they also did one with the mask, with the white eyes and the not white eyes. Honestly, I prefer the not white eyes, but that's just me.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah.
But I don't think we're gonna get the white eyes or the glowing thing, but like I like the look of the suit in these drawings.
Yeah,
I will say I still don't like the suit in the show. I really don't like it. However, I like how it doesn't look as terrible as it did in that first trailer, where it looks just way too big, and I'm like, okay, it's probably a lighting thing, and it was definitely a lighting thing, obviously, plus it's old too, but when he's coming out of the hotel, and he's like about to fly off to meet Sinestro, it definitely looked like it fit Kyle Chandler's body a lot better, and I really
no, absolutely,
I think it looked better there. I'm still not a fan of it. Again, I don't like the idea that it's not a construct, and it's like they're going for like the more realistic look, but that's just me. That's just a preference. So
yeah, I think the Hal and Sinestro dynamics are going to be part of episode 3, and if rumors are to be believed, then episode 3 is where things pick up, like Jalen was saying. So to you guys in the comment, I think that will be, and then we're gonna see probably more of that scene that we got the beginning of at the end of episode 2. But John, not only is this artwork great because it's very comic booky, showing Kyle Chandler's Hal Jordan here, but also in episode 2 we got this little we at the end of the episode we got a look ahead trailer to episode 3, and this was in there. This is the TV that John Stewart Sr. shoots at, like with his gun, clearly jealous or angry or something at Hal Jordan in the TV. So you had a theory about that, because what was your theory? Do you want to TLDR it? Because I feel like Liz hasn't
so
heard
essentially what it is, based on what we've seen in the trailer, these were two theories that I found. These were not my theories. The
Okay.
first one was that John Sr., John Stewart's father, was supposed to be Green Lantern, but either he said he was afraid, or the ring felt that he was afraid, and then it went off to Hal Jordan instead. So that makes John Sr. jealous, and so to, you know, he puts all that anger into John Jr. and essentially tries to build the ultimate greatest Green Lantern because he missed out on it. So essentially going with more like you know, generational trauma, themes of abuse, that kind of thing.
I really dig
with
that.
this version of the character. And so, you know, eventually, like, and the reason he shoots the TV, he's jealous that he missed out on this greatest weapon, and then they're probably gonna bring in some like race shit about that too. Oh, you know, white man gets it, and the mere black man doesn't get it, because you know they'll fucking do that, of course. So that was one theory. The second theory that I found was that that Laura Linney is not actually a Guardian. She's the Manhunter. She's the Manhunter that they couldn't destroy, that the bald guy mentioned. And in actuality, she imbues John with DNA of Manhunter so that he can eventually infiltrate the Green Lantern Corps and then become like the greatest Green Lantern, but also use like the Manhunter fucked upness, and then they'll use that to take over the Green Lantern Corps. So those were two different theories that I found. Like, I could see them going with either. Dan said you could do a combination of those, but yeah.
That would be wild if that were the case, because I think the only way you can because then you would imagine that the way all of this blows up is like Hal Jordan gets to meet Laura Linney's Guardian and is like, oh no, who are you? And then that's like, oh, like, because that would be a confirmation of like, oh, is she actually, I mean, obviously if she could shape. I mean, can the Guardians shape-shift as well? Is that the idea?
I don't know. From the comics I've read, I have not seen that, but maybe there's a comic out there that I missed that,
because if the Guardians can't shapeshift, John, then I'm gonna suggest this, because we have seen that trailer shot many times. This shot here, where you see I'm gonna call her, for the lack of a better word, Mama Stewart with a young John Stewart in her arms, and you see this, I don't know, like British soldier from this Revolutionary War looking dude. And we see in the trailer there's a transformation thing happening. This, whatever this character is, transforming into something else. And then you see this photo, and there's Laura Linney playing supposedly a Guardian.
They pretty much have
it's the same scene, I want to say.
So the Guardians of the Universe, they're pretty much like overpowered. So they have like every ability under the sun, like reality warping and shit like that, and you can use that for like fucking shapeshifting. So I'm pretty sure the Guardians can shapeshift. It's just like, because it's like literally the inherent abilities on the fucking Wikipedia are like near omnipotent, superhuman intellect, cosmic awareness, dimensional manipulation, force field projection, light projection, time manipulation, invulnerability, teleportation, reality warping, biological manipulation, size manipulation, life force siphoning, genetic manipulation, energy manipulation, matter manipulation, immortality, telepathy, illusion casting, astral projection, telekinesis, and phasing. So one of those can, I'm pretty sure, like, biological manipulation is a fancy word for shapeshifting. So yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But my question would be, like, given this is an HBO show, what they would try to, I mean, they're gonna try to want to differentiate this, because again, they're doing this, you know, the whole grounded thing, partly because they want to bring in a broader audience, and so far, I mean, it seems to be working. The casual audience definitely loves it. The hardcore audience is a bit up and down depending on where you land on this, but like, they would probably want to create as much of a distinction between the Guardians and the Manhunters as possible. Not to mention, Anton said it seems like that Manhunter is the only Manhunter left. Like, it's like they kind of eradicated or killed them all. So, like, I don't know. I'm just wondering if, again, it seems like if you put this shot from episode 3 flashback with this shot from the trailers, like a few of the different trailers we have seen, like the ad spots and one of the longer trailers, it's just, it seems to me like that character is Laura Linney. And if that is a Manhunter indeed, then John, I think your theory might be onto something there, because that would be wild. That would be one heck of a twist on a twist.
I mean, I was like on the cusp
So,
of taking a snooze
yeah.
during Lanterns episode 1 and 2.
All right.
Fuck
Well,
the
I
Guardians. Yeah,
mean,
the Guardians kind of suck. But
let's
like,
keep
that's,
going then. Yeah.
you know, really loving Lanterns. Dick Tracy Rogues Gallery. We've shown his art before, and in Brightest Day. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is fucking that? How Tom King writes a story. But and then in Blackest Night, and you have, you know, just fucking like aura farming Jon Stewart looking at dead Hal. You know.
You know, I do like
Yeah,
that.
my
I do
like
how
now that it's, I
cleared up
think
a
they're
little
gonna
bit there,
pull a
yeah.
bait and switch where it's like, oh, it's not really Hal, it's actually he's dead, and he's not actually dead.
Well,
and
we've been talking about it since
he went into
episode 1 that
hiding.
he didn't really die. You know, like
Yeah.
I think that's been something people have been speculating now for a couple of weeks. So,
Yeah. I mean, I could see it going
or if he
both
sacrifices
ways. Both I
himself,
think are kind of
yeah.
equally stupid, but like that's just me. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
I could see them going, but like I could see it being a red herring, but I could also see it like, oh yeah, we're actually
Eric.
gonna kill Hal. I mean, it's when it comes to Tom King, there's always the stupidity.
I just see you, John, struggling in live action right now. It's like IRL. Like
Yeah,
you're
just
glitching,
like
trying to
Tom
make this-
King
trying to
just
reconcile
infiltrating
this
my
for
mind
yourself.
and just wanting to implode on itself. Speaking of wanting to implode in on itself, was this conversation and then someone calling it effortlessly well written. I'm like, sure, Jan.
Yeah, dude.
This convo right here about white privilege, white power, and how a woman of color might navigate navigate that world was on fucking point. Lanterns is effortlessly well written. Yeah, sure. How's your white man?
No,
was
but,
said by
like,
an actual
I
human being
disagree
written on an
with
actual
this.
page, but like, sure.
But like, as the
I'm just gonna say this to all the
non-white
people out
man
there.
in the room,
Just because it
You know?
agrees with your worldview doesn't make it good writing. I'm just gonna say that
100%.
right now.
100%.
I will. Here's how I took it when I watched this scene. I was like, they veer into that direction a little. Like it's a bit of a left turn. How the conversation turns into the part of it, but I feel like the show is like from episode 1, the whole like, you know, we're in Nebraska, like, you know, it's like this is Republican country, like at least in the world that we live in today. Like this show is not afraid to get political, which again is always going to divide opinion. I mean, at first glance, at the first time I watched this, because I saw this episode twice now, it is definitely like it comes a little bit out of nowhere, but like this is like the third time they've done this in this show between the 2 episodes, where a scene gets a little political or like, you know, kind of walks the line with that, where it's like, okay, this is grown up shit, and I get it, like I get what they're going for, but I also understand, I mean, the perspective and how they're going about it, because it does explain it. I'm like, I asked the same question after the first episode. I'm like, hey, Zoe is a brown woman living in Nebraska, married to the most powerful man in town who's got a whole militia onto himself. I'm like, and the power dynamics here don't quite, you know, go according to like cultural norms or as are to be expected in that situation. What's going on? And maybe it's clunky or not, but like I said, as the only, you know, person of color in the room, I think this scene was sharp in the terms of its critique, but also the way they go into that part of the conversation felt a little left turny. But I think
clunky is a good way to describe it. Yeah, I think clunky is good.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, like I said, I think it's still like overall, I understand what they were going for. I mean, the execution of it may be like a little up and down, but yeah, I mean, she's literally, I mean, these are probably the only 2 people of color in the entire town. I'm like, I don't remember seeing any other person in the show so far that's in that town that is of color outside of these 2 people. Like literally when they went in the restaurant, in the bar, like John was probably I think John was the only black dude in the room, and then she was the only brown chick in the room. It's like everybody else was white. So I get it. Like I understand where they're going for, like with the whole Nebraska, the Barack Hussein Obama thing in the first episode. But so yeah, I mean, or maybe like Eric is saying, at its very simplest, it was trying to like, I think Zoe's obviously trying to manipulate John, and John seemingly just falls. Now it's fallen for it like twice, I feel like. So, but yeah, it's one of those situations where I feel like it's also Zoe's probably trying to like play into whatever John's psyche is, or clearly, you know, she seems to catch him off guard each time. So
yeah.
The power of the little head is bigger than the big head, it seems like, because goddamn John. But now
they hadn't even been there 48 hours, you know, like
it's just the BBC. Lanterns episode 3 still reveals intriguing twist to Jon Stewart's origin. So with all of this,
Chris Mundy
we
just did a recent interview talking. I think
yeah.
that's a new quote. So
Yeah,
it's a little
so
weird quote.
there's the
So.
whole thing with like Laura Linney and all that stuff. We know that Stewart is special in some way, and the theory is that the Guardians made some kind of deal with John's parents to mold him into a Green Lantern when he was just a baby. So Chris Mundy had this to say: "It's like Kyle says in the bar in the pilot, when and where to use the ring is the whole ball game. That was a character thing for Hal, but it was also sort of us talking to ourselves a little bit. We wanted to earn the times. We used it in a big way. We start small and smart and start kind of playful with the $20 bill and all those kinds of things, so that each time we used it, people trusted us. Like, oh, they're not just plastering everything with it all the time. Well, I mean, you also don't have the budget for that, so there's that too. It's those characters deciding when to use it, and then because of that, those writers who are making those characters do that thing, they know when to employ it and when not to. And these are some of the stills, by the way, that Dan has been showcasing anyway. But yeah, so with all of this, just kind of going off like what their psychology of like using the constructs and all that. So
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna like, I think we've already been having this conversation as is, but I guess we talked about it yesterday. But like, Liz, what are you expecting to happen in the next episode? As somebody again who's not
Girl, I
really
don't know.
into this, like,
Again,
did you watch
I
the
don't know.
trailer or like they do
No.
like a trailer at the end of the episode, or you don't watch the
No,
that
I
stuff
don't.
after the
I don't
credits?
want any. I don't want any spoilers. I don't want any. No, I just want to go in and just keep learning, keep following the story. No, so I did not.
Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, for me personally, I do hope that the flashback episode also sort of like it takes place across multiple parts of the timeline, because we know that in the look ahead trailer they not only showcase like the really young, well, they showcase obviously you got a baby John there with his mom, and then that seems to be the first time they're exposed to the Guardian. Then you do get a slightly, well, like, I'm guessing a teenage version of John Stewart, which we have seen in the first episode. And then also in that same look ahead trailer, you see like the adult John meeting the Guardian, being like, this is the part where people ask why me, and he's like, I know exactly why me. So but yeah, I mean, a lot of this episode I think is going to end up filling in the gaps of like why his dad had been training him his whole life, why his mom even let his dad put apples on top of his head and shoot him, like, which we saw like however many holes, like they were doing that from a freaking young age. Is like, I'm guessing that's part of the whole "Are you afraid?" test. And so yeah, I think there's this episode 3, like Jalen was saying earlier, is going to probably fill in a lot of gaps, which is exciting to see, like, that being hopefully this is where the show starts to pick up for people who are not enjoying it so far. Like, I mean, I'm enjoying it, but I know, like you said, Liz, like, it's too slow. So maybe this will help filter stuff. Not to mention Sinestro stuff. Like, they only started that conversation in the last episode. Like, I want to see more of that too. So
Yeah, well, and I know there was a lot of speculation about his relationship with Sinestro and how that was all going to play out. So the fact that they've already brought him in episode 2, I think is promising. I think it's not going to be anything that anybody's expected at this point. So I'm looking forward to that. Again, knowing absolutely nothing, I could be total bullshit, and that's fine too. But that's why I don't like to spoil it for myself. I want to just keep it moving with the show.
Yeah, absolutely. What were your ratings for the first? Did you give you give a 6 out of 10 on the first? What did you?
Oh no, I'm not giving ratings for on episode.
Okay.
No, because that would mean that there's like a lack of consistency in that regard too, in the pacing and stuff. Kind of like that one-off episode of Daredevil, that one-off episode of Ted Lasso. Like, you know what I mean? Right. Like, I'm not gonna bother with that. I'll just rate the show as a whole at the end of all of it.
Yeah, the entire season. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm also kind of interested to see when Guy Gardner shows up. Tony's saying I might be tired, but Fan is looking.
I feel like episode 4. I feel like we're gonna get him episode 4.
Sorry.
That's what I feel.
Yeah, that would be because the next episode is called Outcast, and then the next one after that is called The Weenie, which would explain that, because if Guy Gardner is the weenie supposedly, although I guess I don't know, willpower is part of how you define a lantern, so I don't know how that would work essentially, but anyway.
I don't think it's coming.
A scanner, darkly cell shades. What? Are you talking about me, Tony? Like I've got a different camera on right now than the usual. That's why. That's a different lighting setup. That's probably what it is. Do I look at it? I'm being told by Tony that I look animated to him, which is interesting.
Well, you are animated. You're,
I think you meant more anyway. Okay.
Yeah, no, you look fine. I think Tony is just tired.
You look
I think
fine.
He did say tired from work, and it's 12:30 a.m. So
yeah, let's go to
camera
My man's got to bring home the
he's an
bacon,
hour ahead of
guys.
us.
You know.
Yeah, he's got to bring home all the bacon so he could save up for a ring to propose to Lizz with.
To Lizz,
so,
yeah.
You know.
You know what's
Don't
funny?
worry, I'm
Tony
helping you out,
mentioned the
Tony.
other
I'm
day
being
he
your
secretly
wingman.
got. What was the actress? Tony was like, I got secretly married to her, and then she doesn't even know. I'm like, what was he? He was hitting on some other dude. Tony's slippery like that, so I don't know how to trust him.
Listen, I talk about my lady boners every episode, so I can't get mad at Tony for looking elsewhere.
Hello.
You do you, baby. Whatever makes you happy, Tony.
But you know what makes us really happy is Batman Part 2 talking about the same fucking video 12 million times until we can't take it anymore.
It's a different video, John. It's not the same video. Literally the time.
But it's the same fucking event of him doing donuts.
Yeah, because it goes again. You know what it is? It's how the bacon is made, because it goes to show you they don't film that stuff as like in 2 hours. Like they've blocked off the street for days now, and they've been filming like different assets to the point where you've seen it. They've shot stuff where there's only like squibs going, like bullet things going off on the car. No police officer in sight because they're shooting the interior of the car. And then when we saw with actual people out there,
this is like when we saw 10 different shots of Tom Holland standing on a tank. Like, okay, cool.
Well, yeah,
cool,
but I mean, I look, as somebody who's done a lot of like stunt stuff and has shot it and knows what goes into it. Obviously, it's a lot of work. I think the magic of filmmaking, like it's that's why we do.
But we want it to be magic, is my point. We want it to be magic. So
and
watching the same car do donuts every fucking day, it kind of dulls the magic a little bit, babe. I don't need to see how the sausage is made all the time.
I like to know how the sausage is made, because then that tells me how. Oh look! Oh my god! Look at that, up close and personal with the kitty. Oh, and she's
graffiti for the mysterious drugs drops can be seen on the set of the Batman Part 2.
Drops, more drops.
A plate in the Lacey's window has bat and owl iconography. Bat on top, owl on the bottom.
If I were to do drugs, I'd probably do drops.
Drops?
That seems like the best way to take them in.
Well, that's what the Penguin was running.
I don't want to fuck up my vision, though, which is why I also would never fuck with cocaine, because I have such a cute nose. I'd never fuck up my nose.
Well, you could also put it up your bunghole. I mean, I've heard people do that.
You know,
I mean, come on. Have you ever heard of butt chugging?
I don't want to upset my butthole either, John. I don't want to end up like our president and shit myself.
Look at so there's apparently a prop in one of the shop windows here, which has this. I don't even know if this is an Easter egg, but this is a plate. Which
I mean,
I'm like, it's supposedly a bat and an owl.
I don't really see the bat.
I can't.
First of all, that plate. First of all, that plate is hideous. Let's start there. That's the fucking.
Well, yeah, it looks like fucking garish 1970s like flour vomit. Like, yeah,
it's hideous. That's fucking hideous.
Like, it's hard to really tell like what they're going. Like, I could kind of see the owl, but I'm like, it's
not
almost
even
like
straight.
you're making out patterns like in
and
something
the stand
there
is broken.
To be seen.
No, what a waste of time.
So, but I mean, it could be an Easter egg.
People get a life. Get a fucking life. Stop it with this. We don't need to see every fucking piece of minutia. Stop it. Stop. Can't.
Well, John,
ruining it for me. Ruining it for me.
On a side of levity, I think we have something else we gotta look at. Because I don't know if this sign is
Batmobiles or any other cryopteran themed crime fighting vehicles on this street is strictly prohibited.
Like, click into it, because this is funny, because I'm like, I can't tell if this sign is meant to be in the movie or if this is something that got like, who put this up? Because this was fun. I don't know. It comes from an account that says a sign
looks
of humor.
like the vibe of like, oh, it wasn't like somebody either put it like definitely taped it up, or they put it, or they, I mean, okay, so the Instagram is literally a sign of humor spelled with a U, so it's definitely a guy that's in like Glasgow right now, and it seems like he puts up fake signs. So I'm willing to bet
Okay,
this is
so this
real.
probably
He
is
put
a-
the sign
it's-
there as a joke.
As a
and
joke,
then-
because they're filming the movie, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's funny. Again, we could take a joke. It's nice people are starting to see the light. I like the comment. It does seem like a fake sign, but definitely looks like real Glasgow. So those are Crown Wicks that are getting bumped into by the Batmobile. Yeah. We got a couple of more things to look at. The people of Glasgow, I sent that to Fiona. Fiona loved it. I'm like, the people of Glasgow showed up for this because
Yeah,
everybody is watching.
this
what's
looks like a
going on
rock
now.
concert. Like, woo!
It literally does. I'm like, they have four. It's like a whole intersection.
Look at how
they blocked
Sidney
off.
Lumet that looks.
I mean, that dude brought a fucking sport. Like,
And
that's probably like
Caleb?
300 millimeter zoom lens. Like, this guy, that's how we're getting those photos when they're able to get like those good photos from like that far away. Because it's not like these guys are standing anywhere near close to where the stuff's being shot.
There it is. Chiropteran is any mammal belonging to the order of the Chiroptera, which is the scientific classification for a bat.
Okay,
So
I
the
thought it was a
sign of
reference
humor
to,
guy
like,
is more intelligent than all of us. So
No, because I thought it was a reference to like the flying bat thing from The Dark Knight Rises. Which I guess makes sense. It would be technically in the same vein of things. But yeah, a lot of people take it. There was a dude who had a selfie stick camera. I'm like, okay, everybody's there, like spending. Like, I'll tell you a true story. When one of the things where I had to like close down a street and shoot some stunts, we did like we had a 4-hour period and we had police block things off and we had to pay for all of those things. And what ended up happening is, like, it was in a neighborhood where there were some houses in like right down the same street, and we only closed off a block. And at one point, like after about an hour, we were there for like 8 to 10 hours, but we only had the street blocked for traffic for 4 hours. And people were just like stepping out of their house and just like watching us do things. And like we had a stunt where we were literally like having a car run over a stuntman. And so like the guy walks up, and it's not even like it wasn't even like a sedan. It was like big SUV. I think it was like a BMW X8 or something. So it's like a big SUV, and this guy has to like hit it, roll up all the way to the windshield, and fall off. And it's like every time you do it, I mean, and they wear this thing called a Raptor, which protects your spine. So I'm sure you've seen like Ricky Stunts has that like thing, like almost like a it looks like a spine on the outside. It's padding for your back. And then you obviously like under your clothing wear like knee pads and I don't know about shin guards, but like also like elbow pads and stuff. So you protect yourself as much as you can while also looking good for the camera. And so the cops were surprised. The cops were like, "Oh my god, so you'd actually do it for real?" Because the stuntman actually gets hit by the car. It's not like it happens at a distance. It's not like you're throwing a punch where there's a distance. And then people like started just coming out and standing on their porches and on their stairs and stuff, and just like watching stuff. And then they're like, "Oh, you want to use the bathroom?" And like I definitely saw a couple of the crew members like go and use restrooms or stuff, or like we'll bring you some water. Like it was fun. It's fun. It's making movies is fun. It's hard work, like 10, 12, 14, 16 hour days, especially like right now. But as we were talking, I think they're doing another overnight shoot in Glasgow. So, and it's obviously in a busy part of, or it's Glasgow. So like people will show up. It's a pretty big city. So,
I love this. The Batmobile apparently has been fitted with impact bumpers on the set of Batman Part 2.
Yeah, there you go.
And I love the first comment. In other news, new bumpers cause movie delay until 2030.
It's just tires. But I mean, I think what this is part of a rig, because remember how they were doing, it was the actual Ricky Stunts in there doing the donuts. This here, the tires are part of a rig that's tied into some kind of like thing in the middle. So John, you have the video, right? Like you can see, so if you start that from the top, you see it's kind of spinning off of like a point in the middle. So it's not like the way they were doing it the other day, because they want to probably have this part be more controlled, because you see he's going to bump the police cars out of the way to kind of, because that probably explains how he escapes this whole situation. And you can see they've got like a thing in the back that blocks off. They're going to do a digital extension for where like the black barrier is in the back and stuff. So again, they're filming parts of this piece. So the fact they have to like set this all up every night, or like reset it, and then different camera angles and all that. I'm probably shooting with like at least half a dozen different cameras at the same time. Again, it's fun to see how, again, I know Liz, you don't like it, and that's fine, but like at the very least gives you an appreciation for how movies are made. So yeah, I thought again, it's fun, and there's more probably happening as we speak that we'll talk about tomorrow. So but yeah, this is it's you don't get this all the time because like a lot of movies just film behind closed sets, so it's fun to see how the like you said, the cookie is made, the bacon is made, whatever the case is. But yeah, I mean it's Ricky stunts in the car as far as I can tell. There was another photo I found.
No, that's actually our pads doing donuts.
Yeah.
And he's risking
I mean,
his
you know,
life.
Why not?
sure he
Actors
could do
do their
it.
own stunts sometimes. Why not?
Yeah, mainly
Likely not in
Tom
this
Cruise.
instance. If you zoom into that image, I'm sure we'll find Ricky stunts just for Caleb.
Yes.
We can't zoom into that image. I was being facetious. So, whatever part of the movie this is gonna end up being, though, will be fun because I can't wait to see like why the police are after him. Like we haven't seen the police, the GCPD, go after Batman in this big of a scale since The Dark Knight Rises, which is like now 14 years ago, and by the time this movie comes out, 16 years ago. So. I mean, Batman versus the police, generally Batman ends up winning. So, yeah. On that note, thank you guys for tuning into DCU Daily. And we will see you tomorrow. And it's going to be another fun show. I'll likely be on camera more, talking a lot more. So if you miss me, then, you know, we'll see you then. Until then, we got Tier List Tuesday coming up.
Insert
in a few
Kim
minutes.
Possible theme here.
I don't like it that much. I prefer Power Rangers. I had the Power Rangers theme as my text tone. Anyway, on that lovely note, we'll see you guys next time. Another episode of DCU Daily. Hit the like button, do all the things, and tune into Tier List Tuesday. The poll is up. We'll see you.
It's another project that's been blessed from the beginning.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see.
Right there.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here. Now you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Here we go.
Victory mine. Ask me how am I doing? I'm telling you, really, I'm doing sublime. I never wait in a stewardess line. I just go do it. I'm moving my time. Really had nothing to do with it. How am I moving? I'm moving like you wanna shine. Follow my lead. Don't listen to lies. I had to put me all on the line. That's why I know that victory's mine.
I prefer Jared Leto. Hunka hunka.
And remember, fuck Tom King, David Ellison, and Jeff Snyder.